There.
We're live. Hi, boys.
Hey.
Hello. Sorry. We actually have mics working. It's like we had a whole pre-game lobby going on. We didn't yell at each other like we usually do. We were actually Billy kind of got a little bit aggravated here and there, but that's rightfully so. Especially dealing with technology like me and Joe. Come on. The draft season. Oh, nice. You waited to pop yours until the draft.
Yeah, until we went live.
I already popped my Red Bull.
Nice. We're gonna need it. All right.
No
well,
intro,
boys.
Nothing. We're just riffing. Are we just riffing this whole time?
Well, in this studio, we don't actually have an intro to play. There's nothing in here for
let
this.
us have our intro. I can
studio.
just sing it for everybody.
There's nothing in here.
See, I'm like the senator in Parks and Rec where if I don't hear my intro music, I just shut down and stare at the wall until I hear that.
You really did. I was waiting for Joe to start with an intro and everything because that's how it usually goes, but we didn't have an intro.
I'm trying to figure out this YouTube thing, so y'all do you.
That's fine. Joe, you are starting to sound quiet on us. I don't know what happened between now and then, but whatever. All right.
I think Joe sounds great.
I'm just happy that you sound great now. So
I do talk a lot, so it's
as long as good. As long as one of you two sounds good, I'm fine. We'll be fine. All right, boys. There's been some interesting draft betting things going on here. So, as we're talking right now, Chicago Bears are the favorites to get Ashton Jeanty at plus 100. Jaguars are the second line plus 175 to get Ashton Jeanty. The Browns are third plus 350 to get Ashton Jeanty, and then the Raiders, who we've been talking about, plus 650.
So it's wild to me because the whole Jaguars thing, I feel like you guys were like, yeah, sure, I guess, whatever. But I was like, man, I really feel like they have a chance to do it. And then all of a sudden, all these mock drafts had the Jaguars. I had no idea what shifted in everyone's mind. But apparently the Jaguars were thinking about it, or at least teasing it to trade down that fifth pick. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to actually see some trades. All our mock drafts had 0 trades. Looking forward to seeing what actually happens now as well, much less, the differences in the picks. So
we got Rougarou in the chat on YouTube. It's good to see you, Rue. What are you hoping that the Saints do, Rue? I mean, I've got plenty of different thoughts and prayers. I think they're just going to end up with a defensive player, and it's going to be boring. But if they do go for a quarterback, that would be pretty fun. I think they're going to try to trade down. Honestly, that's everything I've been hearing is that they're trying to trade down. But we'll see. Somebody could hop up and get Jeanty right before the Bears. That would break Joe's heart.
That might break my heart. What's up, Rue? Hey, by the way, I was playing this game South of Midnight, and it's about Creole folklore and all that stuff. And I found out what a Rougarou is. I'd never known it was an actual thing, but it's like,
is it like a mythical creature?
Can be anything, basically. Am I right, Rue?
So Skinwalker.
Kind of.
Lizard people.
They're going to crush my dreams. We hope not. But it is the Saints. And currently, I think they're the least favorite team that you would want to play for right now.
After the smack he was talking in the chat, though, I'm not going to lie. I kind of hope they do crush your dreams, Rue. And I hope you're here live for me to see it. I hope they draft someone that we don't even know how to pronounce his name. And it's just some guy that's supposed to be projected as a third rounder. Shouldn't have been talking shit. Just saying.
For sure. All right.
By the way,
Grimsy Oso in the YouTube chat says draft day. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Dude, I felt that.
I'm a man of my word. If the Raiders do draft Jeanty, they didn't have anchovies.
You're eating sardines?
Okay. That's somehow word. Well, no, you like sardines, don't you?
No, this is the only food that's ever made me vomit.
That's what it was. See, I knew we had a Jeanty. I knew we had a Jeanty bet. I thought it was a Fireball bet, but apparently it's sardines, or it was anchovies.
So, Josh, what are you gonna eat?
I got some Cadbury eggs next to me, but I like those. So I don't know if that's a fair bet. We did eat salmon for dinner, and I ate tuna for lunch, so it feels weird to eat a third.
What about a peep? Do you have any peeps? I feel like people hate peeps.
Nobody buys those. They're not bad. It's just, why would you eat a marshmallow for fun?
Dude, the first peep I've ever liked in my life, Rice Krispie Peeps. They have Rice Krispies in them, but it's essentially a Rice Krispie treat. Like, there's no magic to it. It's just essentially a Rice Krispie treat shaped like
Rice Krispie treats made with marshmallows, so it makes sense that would be a good crossover. But my thing is, like, peeps are like not bad. I wouldn't be like gagging from eating a peep. I would just be like, yeah, okay, I ate a marshmallow. Like, people hate on them a lot, but it's just a marshmallow. It's like, nobody cares. Like, just sugar coated marshmallow.
So Ruguru says he hopes that Graham falls or Warren potentially for the Saints.
Bro, neither of those guys are going to the Saints. I just want to go ahead and.
I mean, Graham might fall that long. I don't know. He might.
To be fair, he's benchmarked for the Jaguars pretty much everywhere until this.
Right. So if they go a different direction, then maybe they end up with Graham.
No, which would be that'd be good for them. Much, Howie Roseman will call up and get it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, okay, here we go with the Eagles.
You have a defensive lineman slipping from the top 5 to the bottom 10. He's going to be in there.
All right. Grim says, are we really buying the Vegas odds of Genty to Jags as the favorite? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Josh, what could you possibly be doing? What could you possibly be doing?
Doing what?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Oh, shit. My audio switched over to my AirPods when I plugged them up. My bad.
Probably why you could hear me so well.
Well, I mean, we can still hear you pretty well. It's just, I don't know what you're doing there. But,
I muted my mic, and it's I was
people in the chat.
To let you know what I was doing. I was queuing up my favorite California beer for today's draft, which I bought perfectly. But I muted my mic on my side, but I did not mute my AirPods because that doesn't exist.
That's unfortunate. All right, Joe, you have the power. I love that.
I got the power.
Anyway, sorry. Back to Grimm's question about buying the Vegas odds of Genty to the Jags. I mean, look, the one thing that you can say is, like, they're definitely getting the best position player at, like, they're getting a number 1. Like, even the wide receivers, you're potentially drafting a number 2. Like, Graham isn't exactly a sexy pick. Maybe they're just going to go in there and say right away, like, let's just get one of the best talents in this draft on our team, and we'll just go from there. But I don't know. I would be a little shocked if Genty goes to the Jags. I'm sorry.
I'm not. I don't think it's what they should do personally, but the problem is what they should do is trade down and get more picks to be able to build this team in a different manner than getting Genty. You could go get running back in the 2nd or 3rd round instead of having to go get the best one, which I think there's arguments for some teams going and getting the best ones, like the obvious Raiders, the Bears. If you're going to go for a running back in this draft, like, might as well go big, right, and get the best one, which they're a trade-up candidate. We haven't really talked about it because we don't really talk trades up until this day, so it's possible they move up if the right move. I still feel like the Jags were baiting that pick, the way they've come out and said, yeah, we really like Genty. It's like, yeah, no shit, everyone likes Genty. No one doesn't want him on their team. But why do you is the question? Or are you just trying to beat switch and trying to get people to come in and try to offer for that pick, especially knowing that the Raiders want them, even though the Raiders have switched over to getting Membo basically in the consensus mocks. So I don't know what's going to happen, man. I'm just excited. I can't wait to see Roger Goodell get booed. It hasn't happened already. Dead air, boys.
Joe, I was going to give you a chance. I was going to give you a chance to get in there. So right now, Cam Skattebo on Skattebo on DraftKings is plus 800 to go to the Patriots or the Chiefs. Those are the top 2. I would be a little
for the Patriots.
It would be funny if you went to the Chiefs, but yeah, I don't know about that.
Why are those?
I don't know.
Teams?
Yeah, those 2 teams make no sense for a Skattebo. You know what team makes sense for Skattebo? The Ravens. Perfect, like, Derrick Henry successor. Like, don't let him sit. Let him learn from the king, and then if needed, let him eat. But if not, let him sit. Let him rock. something like that. But the Chiefs with a weird, muddled backfield, and then the Patriots with another Ramondre Stevenson just doesn't make any sense to me personally.
Yeah. Ruguru says on YouTube.
Scatterbo, Ramondre Stevenson.
I think he's like knockoff Stevenson.
I was just
honestly, they're probably about the same. Honestly,
yeah, I was
they might be the same.
Same style running back, in my opinion.
They kind of are. Ruguru says lots of dart talk for us lately. Saints getting dart. I hope it's not in the first round, or at least not at like the teens. I really think you can get dart like really late if you really wanted to. Just saying. In the first or second round, I think. Axton says, good evening, gents. Hello. Welcome in for everybody who's here. Love seeing you here. Ruguru wants RJ Harvey. That's a great call. I love RJ Harvey a lot. All right. Kakua says, first time watching. Hopefully y'all aren't tards.
Dude, I got bad news for you, Kakua. We are.
I was about to say, just wait. Josh will get there at some point.
Barely.
Buckle up, indeed.
I have like a third of a beer down, man. Wait till 4 hours from now. We'll have some pretty stupid conversations. I got plenty of stories if you guys want them. So
the only fireball bet I have written down, even though I'm sure there's more, including the anchovy bet that I didn't have written down for some reason, is for the Giants. Josh has them picking offense. I have them picking defense. So
I do remember.
I hope you get your fireball bet. You know,
I do have one shot of fireball
ready
down
to
in the
go.
freezer.
Well, good. You're gonna have to take it for that one because there ain't no way they're gonna go offense at 3.
Yeah. Well, I still don't know, man. They might trade back too. You know.
That's true. They could get Genty too. I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, it really seemed to. I really hope not, man.
It'd be funny if they ended up with Genty and just Barkley'd him again. It would be hilarious.
And then, well, at least the Eagles would get him as well tonight. Yeah, I got the draft pulled up. Sorry.
Okay, thank you, Josh. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. In case you guys weren't watching it, I don't want to get flagged. I had to mute it pretty quickly.
Yes, thank you for getting flagged. Although I was thinking about this, we're not actually like monetizing this stream. We could definitely play some like copyrighted content.
You're saying we could have played Let's Start the Show and we didn't? That's disappointing.
Well, okay, we don't have any clips of anything in here. I would have needed to.
Buttons are MIA.
I would have needed to get that going a lot sooner than now.
Can we talk to Gary about this? Because
all the clerical nonsense is done now. So, Axton invites are sent. YouTube's up and running. Now I'm back. So you guys are
right. Thank you, Joe, for your secretarial work this evening. Yeah. We greatly appreciate it. All right.
I'm not gonna lie, we jumped right in here, and like I wasn't ready, and I'm really glad that I'm ready now though. I have everything queued up.
Yeah. All right. Well, the draft has still not started yet because why even have an arbitrary time of 7:00 start if we still got things to talk about, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we could just keep spitting around. You know what I mean,
bro? I love that they have to take, or the first pick always takes like nearly the full time to make the pick. Like seriously, what could you possibly need 10 minutes for? You've had the almost 6 months, feels like. I mean, technically they didn't know until January, I guess, but like they had this whole time.
Well, you got Cam Ward coming out, who, spoiler alert, if you guys haven't been following any NFL news whatsoever, he's probably going to the Titans. I'd say 99.99% chance.
Why are they on bikes?
Why are they on bikes? Is that Goodell riding a bike? At least he's getting booed. That's what matters. But anyway, they went out Cam Ward came out and said that Calvin Ridley's the best wide receiver he'll ever play with. Treylon Burks is a top 4. Or sorry, these are just ranking the NFL receivers. Treylon Burks is number 4. Where do you think they slot in Lockett? Like, do you think he's number 5? Or do you think he jumps over Treylon Burks because of what he's done historically?
Well, Burks probably isn't going to be healthy yet, so I don't know.
I'm saying like what Cam Ward would say. I don't care what Tennessee's going to do with him. I'm saying like Cam Ward said number 4 on the of the all current wide receivers. Treylon Burks is number 4. So Lockett has to jump over him, right? At like 2 or 3.
He's got to be over Jamar Chase.
You would think so.
Right?
Clearly.
I can't believe they ended up with Tyler Lockett. I just really thought Lockett was going to go to the Raiders and just like let's pick up the Seattle thing again with Geno and Pete Carroll.
I was thinking about Tyler Lockett recently, and I was like, who is going to get him? And then randomly, I swear it popped up, and it was like perfect timing for my.
Yeah, he announced it himself. Very interesting. I don't fully get it from the Titans' perspective, but hey, it is what it is.
I do. Cam Ward probably said, we need some more. I don't actually think Treylon Burks is the number 4 wide receiver.
I had to bump him down to 5, I guess.
Whatever.
Or he removed Jamar Chase.
Yeah, I think you just cut Jamar Chase out.
Yeah, just make it, Calvin Ridley, Justin Jefferson, Treylon Burks,
why are there so many people in the stadium? Like, what are they doing there? They can't see anything. I'm sorry, that just made no sense to me. All right, cool. So anyone on the clock yet?
No, he hasn't said the draft's open yet. So no, we are not on the clock yet. I would go back to the bets, but they've taken some of them off the board. Oh, they have pick 4 and below at that point.
Because they're probably already locked in.
So Genty is minus 250 to go pick 5. Mason Graham's plus 300. Seems extreme. Wow, at pick 6 they have Kelvin Banks Jr. as the favorite over Mimbu, which all I've heard is Mimbu, so that would be weird.
Yeah, those offensive tackle situations though, like they always feel like they're leapfrogging the 1 and the 2. Like it's always like, yeah, he's the best, but he's the best, and it's really just going to come down to team fit, personally.
Ruger says, do you guys buy the T-Mac fade? Which, by the way, I completely forgot about Pet McMillan being T-Mac. But
I was thinking Tracy McGrady.
Dude, Tracy McGrady, for sure. Dude, that Orlando Magic Tracy McGrady jersey is like one of the best jerseys.
Dude, remember Gilbert Arenas? I feel like I thought he was going to be like the best thing since sliced bread, and he did nothing with his career.
Dude, there's some sad news about Gilbert Arenas, but this is a happy, fun time talk.
No. I want to prove this guy wrong. I want to prove this guy right. That
you want to drag our stream into the mud already?
Well, yeah, I want to. I mean, it's what we've been doing it for 17 minutes. If they made it this long.
Fair enough. Well, apparently his kid, who is a 5-star recruit for the USC basketball team, got into a car accident, was medically induced to coma.
Is that recently?
And today.
Oh, for real?
So it was weird when you mentioned Gilbert Arenas because that literally happened today.
It's not because of that. I am not tuned in or plugged in, but man, all prayers to Gilbert's son. Is it Gilbert?
I think you actually knew about it, and you just wanted to bring that up, which is really
literally. Yeah, I just wanted to bring up car accidents of children.
He literally nailed it. That was perfect. All right, Axton puts on the YouTube chat. Think anyone trades up for Hunter? I would.
I feel
you gotta have a generational talent here. Why in the world would you wait? Or not, or like let somebody else take him, especially being the Browns. The Browns don't necessarily need him. I mean, it can help the team be better, but the Browns also probably need a lot of draft capital at this point to make that ship turn around.
Jacksonville needs to make this move right now.
I guess we'll see what happens here, but I don't know. I cannot believe that we are going into this draft with 0 trades.
No, there was a trade, and Sleeper reported it, and it was a bunch of 6th rounders and 7th rounders.
Exactly. No first-round picks traded.
Which was just crazy that it was obviously they reported it as a joke, but why are you even doing that before the draft starts? Like, did they have a guy that's 400th overall, and they really want to get him on their team? Sorry, that seems a bit aggressive.
All right. So I was doing the clerical stuff, and then I just resubscribed to YouTube TV so I could watch this damn draft. What happened with bikes?
They were just Goodell came out on bikes with like the 6 people, Clay Matthews and 3 other people, or I don't even know who they were. I wasn't listening.
What conspiracy theory can we develop for bikes?
I don't know. We got time though. That's a good thing. Time is on our side.
No clue.
What time you guys got? Just so I know what like kind of delay we're working with here on the clock.
8:07.
Ooh, Joe.
8:22.
Okay, Billy, you're gonna have to calm down for like 25 seconds.
Oh, I'm not making any face at all. If somebody in the chat wants to ruin it, you can, but not me.
I don't even know how to get to the chat, so that's cool. So we'll be good. You guys can ruin it all you want, and we're not doing the Twitter spoilers, Adam Schefter stuff, right?
I'm not saying anything.
That's super lame that Schefter does it before live television tells it. Like, I love Schefter, and he has some great insights for things that we love to see. Something like that, dude. Just let the TV have it, man. I mean, these guys literally are waiting. Like, these people who pay money to go to this NFL draft, which I was just thinking about it. Like, I'm sure it would be fun, the atmosphere and everything, but like at the same time, you're just standing around waiting for 15-second intervals of someone to announce a player. Like, that's it. That's your action. And to have Adam Schefter ruin it, or whoever ends up tweeting the names out before they're even drafted, just it's a bummer, man. Like, I'd be super pissed if I was sitting there and some guy behind me was like, they drafted Shedeur.
Did you imagine if that happened to you while you were at the draft?
That's what I'm saying. Like, imagine paying hundreds of dollars and you're sitting there and some guy behind you says, well, Shedeur's going there now. And it's like, we're watching the stage, man.
Man, Schefter says at one point the Giants offered this year and next year's first round pick for Cam Ward, and Tennessee said no.
So, do you think they're going to draft Cam Ward? Also,
feels pretty likely.
So I know we're not going to have the Shedeur situation we thought we might, where he gets drafted by a team and pulls the Eli Manning and says he's not going to get drafted. Because at this point, it seems like he's going to go later. But like, what if like Cleveland comes out pick 2 and says we're drafting Shedeur and we get the I don't know what happens during that, like during the like live on air, like who tells him, like, does Shedeur just start shaking his head no? Like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I don't know. I cannot believe Roger Goodell wrote
I think he would go up on stage and accept it and then come out afterwards and be like, nah.
Got it. I was going to say, I don't remember the Eli Manning thing because that was we were pretty young during that, but I know it happened and he just refused to play for the team. I don't know but it was draft day, was it not? Like, where they traded Eli?
I believe so.
I don't know how quick it was, but I do remember it happening.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, so you want to do some fireball bets for this one? Or are we just going to all be cool with Cam Ward?
I mean, I think we're all good with it being Cam Ward. I think.
So
honestly, the draft starts at 2, if we can be completely honest with you, because the Browns can do literally anything, including trade here. And so I'm just kind of waiting to see, once this pick's made, like, can we finally like get on with how interesting this can be.
Just because I don't mind drinking and, starting this show in general, anyone want to take a fireball bet that Genty does not get drafted in the top 5? I'm taking the over, obviously.
I think he's going over too, so no, I'm not taking it. Look at Joe. He's thinking about it.
I see that little poker face.
I'm just waiting for my Bears to make the call, man.
It could be the Bears. It could be the Bears. They could trade up and get it at 5.
Joe, if the Bears draft Genty, how fast is it going to take you to get a Genty jersey in that house?
As soon as they sell them.
I'm not buying one. I won't do it.
What a liar.
You're not buying one.
No.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
No, I bought the Caleb jersey last year. I got Fields jersey when he was the quarterback.
Did you burn that yet?
Legends.
But you wouldn't buy Genty?
No.
He's the most surefire thing you would have drafted until he's a legend. That Fields jersey haunting you.
No. I'm lucky I don't have a fucking Trubisky jersey in this house, honestly.
That would be rough, dude. Could you imagine buying? Imagine being a Cleveland Browns fan. No offense to any Browns fans that are listening, but like, imagine buying like each quarter. I mean, there's only really been like 2 or 3, but the Baker one, I guess, could be ageless-ish. But Johnny Manziel before that, Brandon Weeden, some of these other guys. Like, imagine like, this is the one. I think he's the guy. Oh, tough times.
I want to know who actually.
We got a trade. We have a trade. We have a massive trade that just happened. It's not to do with the Tennessee Titans, though.
Okay, well then you can announce it. I was like, calm down.
All right. The Browns are trading pick number 2, a 4th round pick, and a 6th round pick to the Jaguars. The Jaguars are trading the 5th pick, a 2nd round pick, their 4th pick and their 2026 pick to the Browns. So the Jags are about to be on the clock at 2.
2026
First round pick.
It's got to be Travis, right?
So the Browns are now picking at 5. The Jags are now picking at 2, and the Jaguars are about to be on the clock here. Whoa!
You did spoil this on TV, but I will say at least it wasn't the actual pick.
No. I'm only going to do trades because trades you can only find out on the phone. Like, I'm sorry, there's no like Adam Schefter will definitely spoil those. He's not going to spoil the picks. All right, well, let's talk about Cam Ward for a second. He just got drafted to
so we're gonna need to calm down because I just heard it, but I didn't know.
My bad.
I'm just saying in general. I said
okay,
wait 20-30 seconds.
Well, okay, my
Maybe
bad.
you just don't announce the pick. We'll let Joe do it.
Okay. How about you do it since you're the furthest behind?
It does seem like I was like 3 or 4 seconds behind Joe. It seemed like so.
Okay, well, fair enough. You can announce the pick.
Talking right now, so.
I know it's a little behind, but yeah.
How in the world are you this guy behind? Anyway, let's talk Cam Ward.
I think my internet's running slow because I have the YouTube up where I'm monitoring everything. I have our studio and the draft going.
Joe, your internet never expected you to be like this.
your internet hates you as it is. So
this is one step from dial-up, and I'm running all this shit. Bro.
I was gonna say my internet's a little rough as well. That's hence why.
All right, let's talk Ward. We'll talk about Hunter in a second, I'm sure. But let's talk Ward for 1 second. So he's going to the Tennessee Titans. I can't lie, like I don't really have super high expectations. Like this does not make me think like they're going to be the best team in that division. I don't even think he's going to throw for like 25 touchdowns. I still think it's going to be lower than that. At least year 1.
I'm excited about it. I want the Titans to have a quarterback. They haven't had one since Steve McNair. He was super fun, and they had Tannehill for a little while before his ending of his at least starting career. I'm rooting for it, and like the cast isn't bad. I mean, like it's not top 1 and 4 great, but the top 3 wide receivers are fine. Lockett, hopefully Burks can be something, and I do love Calvin Ridley, and I mean he's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with him by any means being the number 1. And then you got 2 good running backs. I mean, yes, they're kind of the same guy, but like at least you have 2 of them. You know, it could just be one of just Tajee Spears or just Pollard. I kind of like this offense, and Okonkwo has a chance to be something. I mean, I'm not saying fantasy relevant, but can be helpful to the team. I'm not upset about Cam Ward, and I mean in Superflex, I still think he's not a top 3 pick. I mean, maybe
that's what my question was going to be. I was like, in a Superflex draft, are you going to take him over any of these running backs that we're talking about?
It depends on where Hampton lands, honestly, because I think I'd take Hampton over Cam Ward in a good situation, obviously. But at that point, I feel like the cutoff's there. It's like Travion and him at 3 and 4, figuring out where that goes. In regular regular dynasty without 1 QB dynasty, I guess I should say, I'm like 9, 10, like 12 would be fine. I think 12 is kind of a steal.
Cam going at 12?
Yeah, I'm saying in a 1 QB. I mean,
I could go earlier than that.
I can go earlier. I was thinking 9.
He's going to move his legs. He's got a cannon, which is awesome for Calvin Ridley. And the way he used Aurora last year, it's going to be great for Chig, I think, as well. This is exciting.
How high would you take him, Joe, in a dynasty draft?
Rookie dynasty? I mean, I have a pick 9, and I'm kind of looking at him right there, honestly.
Interesting.
If he floats down that far.
What is your quarterback situation that would be taking him to potentially start over?
I have Kyler, I have Kirk Cousins, and I have Geno Smith. So
I feel like
Ward there.
Okay, I mean I see the vision. I don't know. I don't know if I love it, but whatever.
I understand why. I 100% understand why you take Cam Ward. I'd probably take him a couple picks earlier if I had that roster for QBs. Yeah. I know the rest of your roster is loaded. I know what league you're talking about, so it's not like you're hurting by any means, and you could find a starting quarterback viable at least if need be.
I am not a quarterback fan,
so before we move on,
draft one though, because you don't have to really worry about it.
What like in redraft? Just we're not even really thinking that far in advance exactly, but like just fresh off the cuff, instant reaction in a 1 QB just redraft league. Are you even thinking about Cam Ward Like
Yeah,
people
as a
took Jaden
QB2.
Daniels last year, but like, what'd you think about him this year?
As a QB2, I'd say, like, you know, not as high as Jaden Daniels because he went about 13, 14 in most drafts, or at least drafts I was in. I'd say Cam Ward would be somewhere in like 16, 17
16,
range.
17.
If you're grabbing a second QB, that means you're either you have a very deep bench or you have a concern about your QB. Like maybe you grabbed Anthony Richardson thinking that this was the real deal again, or maybe you grabbed an aging vet or something and you want to make sure you back it up with some youth. I'd say 16-inch would be fine. Like other people grabbed a couple of the other guys, the Staffords and the Rodgerses went, and then you're like, I'm gonna go grab Cam Ward just to see what happens. You know, give me 2-3 weeks, we'll see. But if you grab a Mahomes or a top 5 QB, nah.
Let me bust through these comments real quick. Grim says Travis Hunter to the Jags. I don't know. We'll find out momentarily. He also says Genty to the Browns, which now looks a whole lot more possible at them picking at 5.
I think the Browns could trade that pick back further. I think they're looking for the future right now, trying to get capital next year, but who knows?
It's true. Bomber says you hippies need to get haircuts. Joe, I'm assuming he's talking about you.
100%.
Axton says Hunter and BTJ on the same team would be pretty nasty. I'm not going to lie to you there.
Makes sense after getting rid of Evan Ingram and Kirk. I mean, they literally, it's pretty much BTJ's team right now. So needing another guy.
Gabe Davis, don't forget about him.
That's true. And then Ruguru says Hampton to the Broncos when we were talking about Hampton.
100%.
Hope so. Hey, hope we find that out here in a couple hours.
Shout out to Bomber real quick because when he said, "What's up, you fuckers?" I had to prove that because I got all the power.
So you could have said no.
That.
Also, happy birthday, Bomber.
Just it said, "Do you want to let this comment through?" And I said, "Fuck yeah."
Happy birthday, Bomber.
Bring it on.
Yeah, we'll let a little bit of stuff slide. You know, like let's calm down, not get too crazy. You know, we have no problem canceling ourselves.
No racial slurs or anything of that nature.
Oh, I thought that was obvious.
In the draft chat.
Vaccines.
Bomber says Henderson to the Broncos.
Dude,
yeah, he said that in the chat too.
Go to the Broncos.
Okay, but Henderson, are we sure that he's a 3-down back? I feel like that's the problem with people choosing Henderson. Is he's going to come off as that pass catching specialist to start.
It's definitely possible. It's just like last year was such a weird thing because it's either yes, he is a 3-down guy that just happened to have another 3-down guy with him, or he was not a 3-down guy. One of those two things is true.
The foot injuries and the ticky-tack, soft tissue things that he missed a little bit of time for is concerning. But Henderson on the Broncos immediately gives you touchdowns. I mean, long touchdowns too, not just goal line shit. Long touchdown. True.
Bob Lung is at the draft party at the Brown Stadium, and he says that there was a lot of curse words during the announcement of that trade.
I bet.
I can't even imagine. Oh, shoot. Bomber says Trayvon Henderson's ceiling is Kamara. I mean, yeah, agreed.
Billy, I assume you know the pick by now, or
no, it's still not announced.
Still diddle-dallying? Oh, yeah, Eric Armstead's being recognized. That's fair.
Yeah, no, he's still going at it. I think we could pretty much know what we're gonna do here, though.
Does seem pretty obvious.
The team is not what I'm calling this an exacto for us, even though the team is wrong. Because who would have thought the Jags were gonna do this? Even though
I thought they were trading down, so wild.
I mean, if you have a chance to go get him, go get him. But
Travis Hunter.
All right, thanks, Joe. Thanks for announcing that. So this is actually really fascinating. I think the Jaguars can actually play him on both sides of the ball. Like we were always kind of like wondering how that was going to work. Like what with especially like the Browns, like was he going to be able to do that? I definitely think for the Jags he's going to be able to do that on both sides. And I don't even know what to do for IDP drafts now. I really don't.
Yeah, honestly, I really want. I want Travis Hunter on my team in Dynasty, but like at the same time, are we gonna be able to get safety? Like, are we gonna be able, or like to put him in a D-back spot, or is it gonna just be solely wide receiver if he plays too much wide receiver? And like, it'd be different if he didn't play an IDP because
he's being drafted as a cornerback, so I refuse to believe that they cannot call him a cornerback.
That's true. By the way, I am totally just going to mute you guys whenever I think the draft pick's coming because y'all suck at this. It's 2 picks and it's just
you said Joe. You said Joe called the pick.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Joe's only a few seconds ahead of me. I actually didn't hear because I was muted, but I did hear you
I didn't say anything.
Yeah, no, Billy, you're going to just sit there in the corner.
I'm not doing anything. I'm
just going to take my top 5 Genty pick.
Announcement.
Not spoiling anything.
Hands or something.
I would say get your fireball bet ready, but I don't know who it is. I'm just joking. Dude, I don't know who it is.
You have no idea. Yeah, I'm sure you probably
don't. I seriously don't know who it is, but I think we can all guess.
Okay, BTJ and Travis Hunter are insane wide receiver combos for this.
So
team.
this makes a lot more sense than BTJ and like Tet McMillan, which we were kind of like bouncing around potentially. This actually makes a whole hell of a lot more sense to me. Like, BTJ can be the surefire one, and then you can bring Travis Hunter in and do, I don't know, definitely wide receiver 2 things. I mean, come on now.
An insane amount of wide receiver 2 things. 2 wide receiver 1s on the team. Absolutely ridiculous. Liam Cohen really made the move to get this guy. He's going to play offense, guys. They need cornerback help.
He's going to play both. He's going to play both.
He's going to play both, but I'm saying mainly a wide receiver for this dude. He can slot Chris Godwin role. He can get you IDP points. Cheat code number 2. I don't know.
By the way, there's no more excuses for Trevor Lawrence. I'm done with excuses for Trevor Lawrence now. This is it. If you can't make BTJ and Travis Hunter work, you ain't meant for this. Sorry.
Yeah, honestly, this is great for Trevor, though. Like, he needs this. He needs another guy to be there, to be an all-star as well, not just okay. Like, Evan Ingram, I would probably quantify close enough to the all-star category. But this should be fun.
Power says Jamal Agnew 2.0.
I mean, technically speaking, Jamal Agnew did move from cornerback to wide receiver, so that did technically happen.
I'm just curious about long-term, right? Like, we're talking about this year as if, like, where to draft him or whatever, but, like, what happens when he just solely becomes a corner again and you burned your second pick, 1.2 pick on? Like, you're sitting there like, well, that sucks. I got one of the best cornerbacks, I guess, at this point, but they don't get fantasy points. So it really is a gamble, and I don't see him going too high. I think
he'll go top 5. He'll go top 5, guaranteed.
The problem is if he does play more cornerback, is he's going to be a lockdown corner, so he's going to put up sauce numbers, which is not good for IDP. So really, you're just hoping he plays offense and gets a couple tackles, maybe an interception as a bonus. And if that's the case, then yeah, he should go to. But if it's the other way around, that's really scary.
He might be one of the first players in history that has a pick 6 and a touchdown in the same game. I mean, I can't imagine that's happened a lot.
I love his hat. It says Duval.
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 Did you guys ever listen to that song?
Duval?
No, yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's fucking good. Great.
When are the Eagles trading up? Because it's boring so far.
Yeah, no kidding. Sucks when you win the Super Bowl. Axel says money is in wide receiver for Hunter's longevity. I mean, yeah, I would also agree with that. I also like
wide receiver.
That's the other gamble I feel like with having Travis Hunter is like if he gets hurt playing wide receiver, well, there goes your DB, or he gets hurt playing DB. Yeah. It's like, well, shit. Now we don't have any wide receivers on the team because we just have BTJ. But you can't play. You can't. Scared money don't make money. You got to just go with it.
Well, the Jaguars are the perfect team to let that happen as well. I feel like they're in a this is a prove it for Trevor Lawrence year. Like they need to go and get someone who can actually go out there and make some moves for them. So giving them another target, and I imagine they have to, considering the wide receiver room they have around them.
The thing that kind of blows though is like if you went to Cleveland, I mean Jerry Jeudy's not a one, but Jacksonville does have a wide receiver one. His name's Brian Thomas Jr.
Here's an interesting note from the broadcast. Travis Hunter said that he had 0 conversations with the Jaguars since the combine.
Said I haven't heard from them since the combine.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Josh,
By the way, I feel like clap when he knows the pick.
Abdul Carter is going to the Giants. Smart move.
I got
nice that you have. Okay, well, this, you know who this scares me for the most? The Giants getting Abdul Carter is Kayvon Thibodeau. I don't think they're going to sign him now. I think it's over.
Get traded, right?
He is going to get traded, I think.
I mean, there's rumors that the Eagles are going to get everyone when you're in Eagles circles, but there was rumors that Kayvon is on the chop block. Honestly, the price is not much from what they were projecting.
The Giants to Eagles pipeline continues. Is that what you're saying?
That was the joke, and that's why I feel like I'm reading Eagles media, so it's really tough to say that that's accurate. But I mean, when there's smoke, there's fire. That means Kayvon, and it was like a 3rd round pick or something. It was not much. So,
yeah. My Bears need to throw the 71st pick at the Giants and get Thibodeau.
If the Giants are smart, which they're not, they would go ahead and get Kayvon on the trade block right now and try to get rid of him.
I mean, I know he had a down year, but his rookie year, he was really good. I mean,
he got injured. He literally was on fire before he got injured. That's the thing, is everyone's like, I've heard you and Joe say he had a down year. He didn't have a down year. He got injured. He was having a great year, and him and Brian Burns together was amazing. And now you go up and pay Brian Burns a bunch of money, and now you got Abdul Carter. Like, yeah, he's obviously on the chopping block, but the 3 of them playing together, if they somehow don't trade him, which I doubt, would be just electric.
Apparently, Ruger says, "What's Thibodeau worth? I'd take him right now." I don't know if the Saints are going to do it. Although Thibodeau is a fantastic New Orleans name. I feel like
I feel like that would just fit.
You could trade like 10 guys over their 35-year for Thibodeau. Just give the Giants a bunch of depth.
All right, so on the clock, we got the New England Patriots.
I actually think that the Browns did the right thing. I'm going to be the one to say it. Hand up. I think
Thank you for not wasting Travis Hunter. At least the Jags can go get a new quarterback in a year or two if it's not working out with Trevor Lawrence. The Browns would just waste him for his entire career, and we would have all just been mad. I feel like Goodell made that trade. I don't even think they told either of the teams. Goodell was just like, we're going to go ahead and get Travis Hunter out of
force this trade. Did you take your Fireball bet? I wasn't even paying attention.
No, I have not. It's downstairs. I was actually almost grabbed it when I went down there just a second ago, but I'll get it here in a bit.
No, I just see you diving, ducking out of this one. So just gotta
no. I literally have one Fireball shot that it needs to be taken, and might as well do it early on. You know, you said
Bomber
something
says, "Is this the highest the Pats have picked since before Brady?" I mean, it has to be.
Didn't they take May at 3 last year?
Yeah, May was 3rd.
That's a good point. Yeah, they did. Where did they take Mac Jones? I think they took him like 15, 14.
Yeah, he was in the middle of the round.
But Bomber, you know what? You're a year older. We're gonna let you have a mulligan on that one. They did pick Drake May at 3 last year.
It's his birthday. You're gonna do a little toot here now there.
But whatever. Oh shoot, you're right. Yeah, well.
Yeah, we are.
Oh, that was the Trevor Lawrence draft too. Mac Jones. Okay. Yeah, he was 15.
All right. Well, I mean, so far this has been chalk. Very chalky.
I mean, all 3 picks, we got a different team picking one of them though, so that's cool.
That is true. Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying this is going to be Will Campbell, and then the next pick.
They just showed Shedeur Sanders' room, and it's just unoccupied, and they didn't even talk about it.
That's funny.
They're just like, yeah, and Shedeur Sanders waiting for his name to be called, and they just panned to this empty couch with some microphones on it.
You think Dion got his cowboy hat stuck in the rafters or something? And
yeah, he's helping him out.
Trying to help him. Like, told you couldn't fit through there with that hat, Dad.
Oh, it's getting steamy in this room, and I haven't even had the Fireball yet. All right, well, we got a commercial break, so I'll let you guys take it over, and I'll be back shortly.
Okay, so can we talk about the pick that just
Go
happened,
smoke
or
drugs.
you need us to wait?
Oh, did it happen? The fourth pick?
Just go get the fireball. Don't just go.
You got to start with the fireball, Josh.
Why it wasn't already there? He knew damn well the Giants weren't going to take offense. He should have had that thing ready to go. I don't know, Joe. This feels like it's going to be a really chalky draft. I'm hoping after pick 5, which if we have any kind of spoiler from our Browns insider, is going to be Mason Graham. Like, I just don't know. After that, like, I just we need something to happen, Joe. I need something.
Yeah. I don't know. Ryan Poles said it was going to be a wild draft, so buckle up. Whatever that means.
Okay, well, I would think that would be them moving to 2 and getting Travis Hunter.
I think we're going to
That
trade the
would've-
10th pick for Chase Claypool.
First of all, I heard
Oh.
everything you said because I have an
Whatever
AirPod
that
in my ear.
Traded back.
Secondly, Ryan Poles telling me it's going to be a wild draft means absolutely nothing to me. Here's the Giants being stupid.
Nice. I don't know what that is.
It's been a while. Haven't
Still
watched
waiting
one
on
of those in
this
a while.
pick.
Mainly
I'm proud
because
of
Billy
you,
stopped
Josh.
counting.
I would have never, if I had gambled, I would have never bet that you were the one that was going to take the first shot of the night.
You should have. Seems something I gotta do. You said, can we talk about the next pick? There has not been a fourth pick.
Okay. Well, that's on me, I thought.
Dude, I thought I missed something, and I'm sitting here. It's on a commercial. Like, I know I'm a few seconds behind, but let's calm down.
Yeah.
Are we all hatting it up?
Towing a Ford.
Gab says I'm left out because I don't have a hat on.
Should wear
Do you
the
have
hat.
2 hats, though?
That is the only person with 2 hats. I don't know if the hat with long hair thing works unless I'm
It
golfing.
totally works. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Why do you
and
only
you got
have
a
one
and
hat
you have
on?
a helmet?
Don't make me
Ow.
go downstairs.
What? You know, I actually have a USC helmet out in my garage, and I'm not going to get that shit because fuck Matt Leinart.
That's Matt Leinart.
You want the DK Metcalf one?
Yes, I'll trade you.
You can keep the Matt Leinart one. I'll just bring this one.
Thanks for the dude,
Stupid.
Joe. By the way, I didn't realize it was Jalen Rager, which is actually more of a slap in the face. I for some reason
Yeah.
thought it was Aguilar, and that was fun.
No, it's
Because then I could at least say every time I see it, and we was catching him, unlike Aguilar.
You could have had Justin Jefferson, but it's a Gregor.
Nah, I'd take Rager over JJ any day.
Dude, how is the okay? This is me needing to hop off Twitter. I was like hoping like we'd talk about some potential trade stuff going on, but like they're ahead apparently.
Oh, you found out the pick.
Well, how do they know the pick? Like everybody knows it apparently.
That's the problem. Is it's Twitter. And by the way, I said Schefter. It wasn't Schefter's fault. It's Sleeper that was posting the pick like well before the pick happened. I think they got the memo because they've been coming out after I hear. I think they're doing like a 30-second delay because I feel like I'm like 25 seconds behind, which is fine.
Here comes Goodell.
Doom, doo, 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 doo. Dude, by the way, one of my favorite sound effects from the NFL is that the draft picks noise. It's just amazing.
It's one of the top 5 sounds, I would say. That draft pick sound. It's a great sound.
And the pick is Will Campbell with his short
Bomber
arms.
says Shadur is going to be a bust. Well,
Mr. Campbell.
the thing is, Bomber, the further he gets down the board, I don't think he's going to be as big of a bust anymore. If he was at 2, then he probably would be a bust. But if he gets to like 22, I don't feel like he'll be a bust anymore.
I don't think he's a bust because of where he gets drafted. I feel like we had this with the Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts situation. We have this every few years. There's a guy who Lamar Jackson. Situation. 32nd pick of the draft, fell down the board. Expecting more from, but you guys want to talk about Will Campbell? We excited about this? I mean, this is what they need to do. Obviously, protect May.
Yeah, they definitely need to protect May. It was god awful last year. So
I feel like
That's
this was
right.
I feel like top 4 picks is pretty obvious amongst all football members. If you guys are shocked by any of these picks, I'm sorry. Other than the fact that the Jaguars traded up to number 2.
I'm tired of the fact that this dude is getting so much flack for having short arms. I mean, he killed it in the SEC.
He has shorter arms than Tet McMillan.
You talking about Will Campbell?
Yeah.
I honestly though, like
That's
like saying Joe Burrow has small.
He literally does.
Dude can still throw the ball.
Tet McMillan is obviously
between
a freak.
Tet
though.
and a T-Rex. That is Will Campbell right there.
The Tet T-Rex line.
I think Tet's going to be fine. Honestly, I actually think Tet's going to be a steal of dynasty drafts.
Yeah,
and maybe even this draft.
If he gets past 20, then I think it'll be whatever. Yeah, I mean, I think the Steelers take him. We'll see what happens there.
I've heard the Steelers are out on him. I mean, not out on him, but dislike Dart better. Basically, is what I've heard.
I don't know. Well, if Shedeur somehow slides past the first round, I'm taking a fireball. Saw that today, and I'm just like, no way. Man. It's not even that necessarily it shouldn't happen. It's just it would just shock me because, like, in a world where everyone needs a quarterback, to let a Shedeur slide that far is just nuts.
It's pretty wild. So, do we think Cleveland makes this pick?
Yes, they are picking. Like I said, Hurricane said it was going to be Mason Graham. He said Myles Garrett said it as soon as they made it.
Yeah, Mason Graham makes a lot of sense. Oh,
said he wants to play next to.
Hey, Billy, I have an idea. Since you're ahead, why don't you let me know when the pick is in? Why don't you say the pick is in, gentlemen?
The pick is in now.
Oh, mine just says on the clock still. So.
Oh. Nope, says the pick's in. No, John, I'm just saying.
Hey, John.
My son John. What's up, John?
Welcome
into the broadcast.
John Wellbaum. Bomb. Hey, I will say, my favorite thing about Bomber was he basically shepherded us like we were his own children at the Fantasy Football Expo. So we really appreciate them. This man walked around with a charger with my phone.
He's a great dad.
Great dad. My hand like this for like 30 minutes while I was playing bags. Didn't even realize. I was like, you could have like put it in your pocket or something. I don't care.
John, you got a great dad, and happy birthday, Bomber.
Birthday, Bomber.
Big Dad Bomber.
We called him Dad all weekend, so sorry for stealing him for a couple days. All right. We got some Cleveland Browns news. Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
Billy, how are you going to control your reactions when it's something wild?
We'll see if something wild happens. I, unlike Ryan Poles, do not think there's going to be anything explosive that happens tonight.
Dude,
so I'm honestly not even that worried. I thought we would already had a player trade or something by now, but nope, nothing. I guess AJ Brown didn't get traded until like pick 16 or something.
For some reason, I feel like it was like low teen, like 11 or 12.
Yeah. May have been.
I'm finding out now. I feel like we were well toasty in there. Maybe I was just talking to my dad. I want his combine results. I want to see when he got drafted. Number 18. You were about right. Yeah. Sounds about where the Eagles were finishing in those days too. Before pre-AJ Brown finishes. Now we're finishing on top. Cream of the crop. Yeah, if you guys stay on long enough, I think I'm going to wrap at some point. Get our boy Matty Ice up in here.
Bro, drop it.
Love Matty Ice. His music.
Rip to him, man.
Dude,
He's still alive. Just don't know where he is.
I have a Matty Ice track on my phone that I found.
Still have it, like currently?
Yeah. On SoundCloud.
Yeah, let's wait till like pick 25 and then hit that up. All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna disappear for like 5-10 minutes and go be a good dad for just a little bit. Speaking of all the dad stuff with Bomber, so
okay.
Feel free to leave my wonderful background.
Are you leaving your AirPod in so you can hear all what we're talking about?
I'll hear what you guys are saying, but I won't hear the draft picks. Which speaking of hearing the draft pick
then we won't have interesting conversations.
Mason Graham is
you were
the
right.
pick for the Browns.
See, Joe did it perfectly. I'd already known.
I feel like you should wait until after the Raiders pick and then go, or unless you just need to go right now.
No, he goes to bed in 10 minutes. I'm gonna go read a little book to him, say goodnight, give him a couple forehead kisses. You know how it goes. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be listening. I'll come back. It'll just be like the AJ Brown situation, except this time I'll actually be listening because I don't think I had AirPods back then. We just had the over the ear headphones. Man, we were really like on a budget back then. Now look at us.
Yeah.
Look how far
crazy.
we came.
Carolina's apparently fielding calls for their pick at 8, Joe.
Carolina is?
Yep, that's what Schefter said.
They need a whole team.
Yeah, they need a lot more than what they're getting at 8. Rougarou says, man, Walker may fall right into our laps. Got him right where you want him.
I love Jalen Walker, man. I think it's for IDP. I might have him above Carter.
Man,
what do you think?
We have maybe it kind of depends on where he goes, but a linebacker to me feels a lot more IDP usage right away than perhaps
I don't know. He's a linebacker
Carter.
That's going to get sacks though, which is
exactly which is a good thing. I mean,
yeah, it's like Christian Ellis, but the yoked up version of Christian Ellis. Not Christian Ellis, Caden Ellis. Too many Ellises in this league.
I hate that Josh is listening to us right now.
Oh, the Raiders pick is in. No trade.
No trade. No trade. Nobody in the comments spoiling picks either. It's good to see. Heartwarming.
This is heartwarming.
So far, nothing has really moved the needle for fantasy, so it's hard to make this fantasy. I do like the Carter pick. I do think he will be taken in a good spot. I don't like that they currently have 3 on the roster right now between Burns, Thibodeau, and Carter, because at present,
you just rotate them though and do what the Bills did.
Well, I mean, I would hate that. It would be cool for them, and I'm sure that would also be an awesome defense. But at the same time, for fantasy value, I mean, you're just gonna have to hope and pray.
Yeah.
That the guy you have on your team's the one that's going to be getting those points. Ruger says switching to a 3-4 is going to be tough, so we definitely need linebackers.
He'd be the perfect addition to a 3-4, though.
Yeah. No, I mean,
that speed is uncoachable.
You know what? Y'all have talked me into it. I do think perhaps there's a chance Jalen Walker would be good on the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Why are we talking to Mason Graham's mom? I got to know if I got to eat a fucking sardine or not.
I love that people bet on Mason Graham to go 5th overall, but only won the bet based on the funniest way possible. Because the prediction was he was going to go to the Jags at 5 for so long. So people kept betting it. And then it went to the Jags are going to draft somebody else. So they were like, oh, shit, I lost that bet. And then the Browns trade into 5 and end up taking him anyway. So you end up winning the bet, even though it's not why you originally placed the bet. It's kind of hilarious.
That's true, man. But if there's ever a time that someone's going to nail all 32 picks, it might be this draft. Right?
I hate that we can't talk because Josh is creepily listening. So I just have to shake my head in a certain direction. Let me know when you've caught up to it, Joe.
No. Josh is peeking in.
No, I don't care about him. Let me know when you've seen it on screen. He's not here right now. All right, this is going to be beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how many people are out there. Our counter is off right now about how many people are actually in here and who's not. But you're about to witness something amazing. Joe, I'm spotlighting you, by the way.
Spotlighting me?
Yeah. Or are you going to do it right now, or are you going to wait?
Oh yeah, no, I could wait for Josh to get here, but
Nah, fuck him. He's not here. He's off being a dad. He doesn't get to see the fun stuff. That's why you don't have kids, folks. Just kidding. Bomber, you're a good dad. John, thanks for being here.
I don't even know how to eat this shit.
I'm fascinated. That's why you're full screen right now. Oh, can you hold that up to the camera? Or is it stable enough? Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe.
It's bad.
Oh, no.
Smells like tuna mixed with I don't know, the Mississippi River.
I wish we had an applause to play right now. I have nothing in here. Oh no.
We're good.
Bomber, he bet that Genty would not end up with the Raiders, so he lost, and now he's eating anchovies. It is a good shot, Bomber. Put that up on the screen.
Boom.
You need to take a break? You need some water? Oh, God, those fingers. Oh.
I know.
Oh, man. You want to go wash your hands? Need a napkin? Joe, that thing was huge. And you're washing it down with Fireball?
Whoa, let's go.
Oh, my God. It's like a science experiment.
Oh. There might be something weird growing in my stomach.
Oh my God. We need to put this footage in an archive. This is incredible. Oh my God.
That was fucking disgusting.
Oh my God. That was incredible. Wow. You know what, Joe? Since we don't have an applause audio, I'll just do one in the distance. Oh my God, Joe! You may be the first human in history to eat an anchovy and then take a Fireball shot right after it. I have never seen that in my life. Wow. Man, that was only pick 6. Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's gonna be a fun night. Holy shit.
Oh God, I didn't. Well. Yeah, your toilet later is going to be a war zone. Accent says RIP Joe's toilet. I know he's gonna have to replace it tomorrow, Joe. You might not be able to go golfing. Have to go to the toilet shop.
Oh, I'll be at golf, bro.
Raiders
starting a Fireball. Bomber, this comment is an all timer.
Oh God. Gosh, that was incredible. All right, let's talk about fantasy. Joe, Ashton Genty on the Raiders. I know that you don't personally like it because you don't want to see the I don't know. You don't see the vision. But it's going to be incredible, man. It's going to be really, really fun. I know that you don't like it, but it's going to be really, really fun.
I see the vision. Ashton Genty is going to kill it on the Raiders. However, they're trying to make a competitive team in a division with the Chargers and the Chiefs and the Broncos, for that matter. Genty's not going to solve that problem. He's not.
At what point do you just say that because you're just jealous that you didn't get to get him on your team?
I ain't jealous at all, Josh.
I was reading a book to my son while I heard you eating the anchovies, or sorry, my apologies, sardines, while taking a shot of Fireball to wash it down, which is like, how is that taste going right now?
Oh, bad, God. I can't even imagine.
The Fireball is actually really smooth. I'm not going to lie. Like, honestly, there's a little bit left in this bottle that I didn't finish off. I'm going to go ahead and take care of it. But like the fish with it, just.
I'm telling you, you're probably the only person that's ever done that in history. So, I mean, we may have just set a record here tonight or something.
get
I don't know.
Guinness Book of World Records, the first person alive to eat sardines and watch
no way somebody has done that before.
Not all the aspects of it, right? Like they could have eaten sardines and Fireball at the same time because they're just weird and that's the thing they're into, but never live on the internet during the NFL draft. I mean, you
definitely not.
To it.
I did not know you were about to take a Fireball shot, but I love the dedication, Joe. That was
I honestly thought
truly incredible.
I had to get the taste out of my mouth because it was that.
So okay, so how did it go? Like I'll watch this video later because like this will all be on YouTube.
And we're gonna I actually spotlighted Joe's screen so you watch the whole thing in all of its glory. It was fantastic.
Oh, that's so great. So like, did you just open it and just pour it into the mouth and chomp?
No. Oh God, he'd have thrown up. No, he just dug one of them out.
So you still have more left?
Yeah.
So we can do anchovy. Are you literally wiping the fucking smell off your hands? It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I was up in it, you know.
Oh, it was incredible.
Man,
Ruger says,
great, man.
Ruger says, dinner time, boys, be back.
You know what? He does live in New Orleans, so that's probably normal for him. It probably just made him hungry.
Oh God. That was I don't know how I'm gonna come back with that. Anyway, I won 2 bets, by the way, guys. By the way, since we've been sitting here, I won my Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders bet, which I felt like
there.
It was, but I had placed that back in like March. I was never a doubt in my mind. And then I picked the exact correct order of the top 5 picks.
Nice.
I would not have guessed that Graham was going to go that way, but
well, the 2 and the 5 literally just swapped spots of where they were projected to go. So like that's pretty. I wonder if they talked about it. Like, you want Travis Hunter, you want Mason Graham. Let's trade them basically.
Bomber has a confession. If you like sardines or anchovies, it's fine. It's not a problem. I
love anchovies. I would eat anchovies on the air.
Joe does not like them.
You gotta see this comment that Bomber put on here.
Mizzou. Mr. Membu went.
There it is, Josh.
I should call her because he had the smell on his fingers. Is that what he's going for there? I'm sorry. Am I being inappropriate or was Bomber?
It was like mid gag. Bomber said, "No, it's worse than liking sardines and anchovies." Interesting.
Can we just get Bomber here? I guess we have plenty of guests already queued up, but
I was about to say we're getting our first one here in a couple of minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was 8:30. Is it 8?
Oh, it might have been. Joe, you have the schedule.
Ashton.
Does he have the thing to get in?
I sent the email out.
Mr. Harding, okay. If you're watching this, we look forward to seeing you shortly.
Fair enough. Bomber says he's starting to like hockey more than football. What the hell?
That's because hockey's going on right now, and the Blue Jackets are probably doing good, if I had to guess.
What in the un-American hell are you talking about?
Well, he's been living in Ohio for however long and watched the Bengals flail and the Browns just, fumble around. So, I mean, it's fair. I mean, if I lived in a state like that, that'd be pretty rough. We live in Missouri, so we watch the Chiefs, even though we don't want it to happen. It happens. And then, we have our team, the Eagles, that we all are big fans of. And then Joe hates his life, as you can look at his dead eyes on his screen. He's trying to hide them behind the glasses, but it's not working. So Membu to the Jets. Who do we have? Do we have Tet going to the Jet? Because Tet was a Jet in our last mock draft, which was a little aggressive. But
even then, we said that it could be tight end.
Yeah, Warren is still on the board and is going to be going very soon. And we had Warren going to Chicago after Jeanty got picked and Shedeur going to the Saints. Man, Rue's eating dinner right now and not watching us. I'm pretty disappointed. But I guess he's watching the actual NFL draft at the very least.
Just is what it is.
And what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Can't keep the man as a fan. Axton says I'm at 9:10, boys. So he will be here at I believe is that 8:10 our time. Is he at Eastern? Is this
No.
I'm really
It's
bad
9:10. It's 9:10 Central.
Okay, because I'm really bad at time zones, so I just wanted to clarify because I was gonna be like, hey man, see you in 10 minutes. If not, see you in a little while.
Sebastian's here. Okay, let's bring him in.
What up?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, gentlemen? How we doing?
Giants fan.
Not too much. You just missed. Joe actually failed to get us to believe that Ashton Jeanty wasn't going to go to the Raiders, so he had to eat an anchovy, and then he took a shot of Fireball with it.
Oh.
It was pretty not great. I'm assuming, Joe. You speak for yourself.
It was bad, man. I'm still feeling the repercussions from that.
Well, I don't know how I'm going to live up to that action, but
what's the grossest food you have in your house? In case you want to
the grossest food. Geez.
That was.
I don't know. I'm not anchovies. I'll tell you that.
That was nasty. All right, what have you thought about the draft that's gone on so far? What's been your favorite pick? It's been pretty chalky, to be honest with you. But I mean, is there anything that has stood out to you?
Yeah, no, I think it has been chalky. I don't know if you guys got the notifications about the pick that just happened, or it looks like.
Well, Josh is a baby, so we've
I am about
not
30
spoiled
seconds
picks
behind from the actual pick, but we're also not looking at the Twitter sphere. We're waiting for the actual draft pick to be landed.
Good. Yeah, I hate it.
Because I could spoil it all day if we just get on Twitter, but I personally, I hated that because Sleeper last year was doing it where they let out the pick like 20 seconds before they even showed it on TV, and I'm plus the 30 minutes. That's a minute ahead. Like, you know.
Yeah. No,
I like that this year at least Sleeper it's seemingly at least like 30, 40 seconds behind on the actual pick. So I think they listen to the fans there, but that was really annoying because it was like it popped up on my screen. It's in a little bubble. Like I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm right there with you. I think it's been that's the worst trend for the draft right now. Is just somebody's trying to get it out so fast and ruin it. Like it's on TV. We don't need you to tweet out live things. Like everybody can get access to it.
We talked about the people actually at the draft, and like think about them who paid hundreds of dollars to be there, and they're sitting there, and some Joe behind them. No offense, Joe, is back there like just says, "Oh, it's Ashton Jeanty," and you're like, "That's awesome. That's who I wanted." But like, dude, could we have like waited for the Goodell to say it or whoever the guest speaker is? My first question for you, Sebastian, is how are you feeling about Abdul Carter to the Giants as you're wearing your gear there?
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I mean, look, I would have loved Travis Hunter as the player, but he just wasn't available, right? So with the options available, I love Carter. I think you had to go that way, either him or Hunter. Quarterback outside of Cam Ward, three's way too high. Quietly, the Giants top 10 in sacks. They were leading the league in sacks for a little bit before Dexter Lawrence got hurt. They just announced they picked up Kayvon Thibodeau's 5th year. So it is going to be, Thibodeau, Brian Birds, Dexter Lawrence, and then now adding Abdul Carter to that mix. We need another defensive tackle, but, in 07 and 11, when the Giants were relevant and winning Super Bowls, we built from the inside out. And for the last 10 years, we've got away from that, and it's been painful and everybody's seen it. But, to get the D-line at least going, if we can pick up an offensive lineman here in the next round or something like that, we're in the right direction. Obviously, the quarterback is a whole nother thing to figure out, but we're not a quarterback away. We're not a team. I mean, we won 3 games last year. So I think it's a great pick as far as long-term instead of reaching for a guy like Dart or Shedeur or something like that.
I was about to say, so you're hoping they don't end up with Shedeur or something like that, potentially trading back into the first round or anything?
The only guy that I've kind of come to terms with would be Jackson Dart. I originally, when he was like, a second, third round prospect after the college football season ended right away, I was kind of like, I can do that there. Anything above 20 is way too big of a reach. I think, just getting in front of Steelers might be the only thing that really makes sense as far as quarterbacks. So I would be okay with Dart. Shedeur, I don't think he's a first round talent. That's just not where I see him. I think you can argue that maybe Jackson Dart isn't either, but I think Shedeur would definitely be the wrong pick. If it's Dart, I'm okay. Honestly, I'd probably go either like a guy like Josh Simmons or Connerly, the offensive tackles there.
Yeah, that's pretty smart in my opinion.
First,
Josh, you're gonna have to let us know, by the way, when
I thought the
pick on the screen
was enough for me. Ted McMillan to the Panthers here at the 8th pick.
Okay,
loving everything about that, dude. I know everybody hates on Ted, and there's no wide receiver 1, but if there is a wide receiver 1 in this draft, it is Ted McMillan. outside of Travis Hunter, which we like just count as this like weird oddball outside of the bunch because we know he's a ridiculous athlete. We just don't know his official position. So
we count him as the wide receiver one on offensive points, at least 1/3 of offensive points. But
yeah,
no, Ted's sick. You got lucky as hell with Bryce Young last year, so keep building.
Well, it was cool to see what Bryce did last year. Honestly, like Bryce at the end of the year, everyone basically was ready to call him a bum and a wash and everything. Then all the picks and trades that they gave Chicago was stupid. And Bryce showed him with some no names, honestly, and Adam Thielen. So looking forward to seeing Tet out there as another big body to go get some balls for him. So.
Yeah, I never really didn't get the random, like, I feel like all offseason people have just been bashing him when, I mean, he's just produced at Arizona, and he's I mean, the teams haven't been good, but he's put up the numbers. He's got an insane catch radius. I know you can argue the separation angle, but no, man, I think it's great. I'm a little surprised Carolina didn't go defense, to be honest, looking at that team. I don't think that really makes a lot of sense. I get trying to help out Bryce Young, but man, that defense is not good.
I think Carolina knows what they are, right? Like they're not about to go compete right now, but they need to put butts in seats and get some ticket sales going, and that's what they did.
I do kind of like the coach Dave Canales going for a potential Mike Evans-esque guy to put on that team because he was with the Bucs, so that was kind of maybe his thought there. I don't know. The only thing that I think held people back from loving Tet McMillan was like it didn't seem like he loved football, which I guess if you want to read way too much into that, which a lot of people did, maybe that was a reason. But like, I think a lot of people were like, oh, he doesn't really seem interested. He talked about like, oh, I don't really watch tape like that. But it's like, okay, like I feel like we're grasping at straws. This is Jamar Chase saying the ball is too small kind of situation here.
All right. I want to go off track here and propose my first fireball bet on this podcast, at least. Billy, I bet Tet McMillan catches more touchdowns than Jalen McMillan this year.
Okay, well,
you said Jalen.
You know what? I'm going to take the bet just for the good of the content of this, but I do think that seems like a pretty like insane wide receiver 3 versus the potential wide receiver 1 on a football team.
No, he's not.
But whatever, just for the memes, just for the using of the content, sure, I will do that. Thanks for backing to me in the corner on that. I'm
just trying to help you out, man. I'll even buy the fireball shot if you want.
I think you just did it because of the name McMillan's both, so you're like Battle of the McMillans.
100%.
Fair enough.
And the Bucs jersey that you're wearing, it's pretty. There's so many guys.
Whatever.
You, sir.
I think though
you do UFL content, right?
I do UFL content.
Yeah, I know. I have a bone to pick with you about your power rankings that you put out. And our beloved Battlehawks are 5th.
They suck, Joe. Sorry.
They are the best fans by far. Absolutely. They crushed. Yes, Caw is the law, as they say in the Battle Dome. Look, on the episode I just released, I did pick them this week, despite the power rankings, because they're getting back Abdul Beecham, their offensive line, their guard. That offensive line was the best in the UFL, number 1 rushing team. He went out with a finger surgery. He's back. And then the offensive player of the year last year, Hakeem Butler, is also back this year. So this game, right? So right now, I think they need to prove it to me a little bit, but I don't know if you guys have seen Michigan Panthers head coach Mike Nolan, probably the most big brain, doesn't make any damn sense guy. He refuses to play Bryce Perkins, probably the best player in the league. So there's a chance he's going to roll out Danny Etling, and I think that's going to go into this Battlehawks' favor. So we'll see him the next week, but I did pick them this week, and if they can handle Michigan at home, they'll definitely at least pop into the top 3.
The issue with the Battlehawks is they don't have a consistent quarterback that can throw the football. That is an issue. Duggan is probably will eventually be a good, okay quarterback. But without, I don't know. It's sad. Sad times. All right. Uru Saints are on the clock. Let's see. I didn't look up this pick, so I'm going to get told this one live.
Going back to your McMillan bet, the only thing that might save you, Billy, is the fact that the Panthers don't throw for a ton of touchdowns typically. So
that's true.
Calm down, Sebastian. Whose team are you on? Oh wait, right, the team that lost. Just kidding. I'm sorry. I had to do
Bomber asked if Leggett is a joke to you as potentially being the wide receiver 1 on the Panthers.
Did you see my response?
No, I did. Oh, did you say? Yeah, you said yes.
I said yes. Leggett is a joke to me at the moment until he proves otherwise. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna just automatically assume that he's gonna be good.
Ruguru is pissed.
I don't like it.
And
I think he was expecting Shador.
I understand Rue because of everyone gassed up the Saints taking anyone else that's not an offensive tackle, but look, you got to start. You got to start from the ground up with this team, Rue. They're not a one player away from being great. I get that you wanted the linebacker with Jalen Walker. I think we all would have understood that, but I mean, I cannot hate going after a lineman here.
No, I mean, it's best available at this point, right? I mean, other than Warren, I think would have been a potentially solid pick for them, especially with shipping Taysom Hill out. But is Taysom Hill signed, by the way? Is he on a team?
I think he's coming off a torn ACL pretty late in the year.
Okay, I just remember them rumoring him going to the Chargers, or a couple different places, honestly, but wasn't sure if anything actually did ever come up. Remember like free agency and how like it lasted for like 3 weeks? It just tailed off hard and like nothing happened. And then of course we got like some Diggs and Lockett pickups like later veteran wide receivers. But honestly, other than that, we haven't really seen much in the last couple of weeks, and really excited to see this draft. And Kelvin Banks, solid pick, Rue. Like I understand that like it sucks drafting an offensive lineman with a top 10 pick, but at the end of the day, this guy's going to be on your team for 10 years. So
yeah, I mean, he was like the number one guy for coming in. I know he had an injury that kind of set him back in the playoffs. It kind of hurt him a little bit. But Banks, I don't think you can be mad at that pick at all, really.
All right, Joe, the Bears pick is in. Let's just get it out now. Who would piss you off the most if this is who they picked?
Yeah, I want to see like...
Hurry, Joe.
Shamar Stewart would piss me off the most.
Shamar Stewart? Okay, well, fair enough. Fair enough. That's a fair enough one there.
What if Mike Green got picked then? We better? Easy?
Bring it all on. Just I got one guy I don't want, and he's probably going to get picked right here. So
are they already picking? Or are they doing like an
the pick is in. Quick. Technically, it's spoiled on Twitter, but they haven't got to it on stage.
Billy, you just can't. How do you have like the contact lenses that show you like the like metaverse or something? Because like I swear to God, you're like Twitter says it's in. And you didn't even look away from the screen.
Oh, I'm in. I'm sure Sebastian knows it too. He's probably just as locked in.
Look at him. He took a drink.
I'm not going to say anything, but I'm curious, Joe. Why do you not like Shamar Stewart? Because I've got concerns.
I like Shamar Stewart.
Sebastian's spoiling it.
This
Shamar
team
Stewart
needs
for sure.
This team needs a left tackle,
right?
Which not many left right now. We need a true edge. I mean, he gets a lot of pressures. He's a beast against the run, which, I mean, the Bears have been known to get beaten by the run. I just want a flashy guy. I want someone to come in and really take over. Shamar Stewart, I don't like these Raz guys, dude. Now, he'll be just fine in the NFL, but I'm tired of just taking these super athletic players.
Yeah, but Simmons would be like a reach at this point. Not saying that it wouldn't be worth it. Like, I mean, that's the next tackle off the board, essentially. So,
yeah, I would be.
Which I'm not upset about, but I think edge is what you need. You need someone to run. Like,
no, we do.
You invested all this money into Sweat.
Going to take the boringest edge in the first round.
Sweat's amazing, and we need someone, anyone, a body who can be good. And like, it doesn't even have to be a star. Shamar Stewart, if he gets drafted here, could be bad, and it's just took away a little bit of attention because Sweat got 5.5 sacks last year or something like that. Like, it was not enough. That's probably not accurate.
He gets a ton of pressures, which is great.
Yeah, pressures is great, but numbers is better, and sacks get you the ball back and gets the ball into Caleb's hands again. So I personally think that you getting an edge rusher wouldn't be the end of the world, and that's what I called from day one. But we'll see what actually happens whenever I get the news. Because I'm the latest.
RJ Harvey right here.
RJ Harvey.
That would be hilarious.
Fun player though out of UCF there. I like Harvey.
He's gonna be a game changer.
So Stewart, my problem with Stewart is I'm sure you guys have heard like the injury stuff, right? Looking into the injury, so dude got a rod put in his leg, like in his lower leg, before the season last year. So work in the military. We deal with a lot of bone stress stuff. You don't do that. Like, it's not like an easy thing to do. Like, it's a pretty big deal to do that. And it didn't work. So they did it before the season last year, and they found out he still had to get another surgery. He was still told to not run on it for 4 to 6 weeks. Like, I don't understand. He just played a college football season. What's going to happen in the NFL as far as longevity? The dude already has rotted his leg. You can't put another one in there. So that's my issue with Stewart he might be a good player for a couple of years, but longevity wise, I've got major concerns with him.
I did not know that. And being a doctor of physical therapy, which one of these rookies are you worried about besides Shamar?
Yeah, so Stewart for sure. I'm gonna make sure you get your reaction when they make this pick here. So I'll give the airtime for a second.
Joe, let us know when you know.
I kept thinking it was happening. Hey,
how are you already this far behind me? You were like
20.
You were like 5 seconds behind me, Joe, and now you're like
I'm like 30 seconds behind you. But anyway, Sebastian, what I see Army back there, but where did you serve?
Yeah, so I'm currently in the Army.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, why I'm on early because I'm going to bed. I got PT test in the morning.
Fair enough.
But I think besides Turner, Jihad Campbell is a guy that I have some concerns with just because he's probably not going to be ready for the season with his labor care. There's a guy that we may talk about in a second that I have a little bit of concerns with, but again, I'm not going to spoil anything.
What? You passed on Warren?
Look at Joe's face, man.
Did he see it? I'm sorry. Did I spoil it?
Oh, he's seen it. Look at that face.
What? He's muted himself.
Oh, you haven't? You haven't seen it?
Okay. How did you get behind me?
The computer's not built to handle the tasks that it's assigned to. Right?
I was about to say, Joe's literally trying to compute a rocket science equation over there.
Okay, I don't know how he got that far behind. I know I was that far behind, but Joe was ahead of me. So I'm glad that Joe was the announcing of the pick. So
I'm very excited to see this, to see a live fan reaction.
Okay, so Joe, we were 100% right about the style of the pick at the very least, and you completely disagreed with us.
Night, guys.
And then they passed on Warren to get the more prototypical tight end. She left.
I mean, it's hard to say that. All right, Sebastian, what's your concerns with Colson Loveland? You were about to say something.
Yeah, so look, Shamar Turner, and Jihad Campbell were the biggest ones, right, with them. Sorry, was I saying, maybe I was talking about the wrong guy. I was talking about Shamar Turner. That's what we were talking about, right?
Honestly,
Shamar Stewart.
You were saying Shamar Stewart. That's what we were talking about. The defensive edge.
Yeah.
I think.
I thought you said you were a guy that we were about to talk about in a second.
Yeah, well, Loveland too.
Oh, you're talking about. Okay, never mind.
I got you. Yeah. So I
know what you're saying.
Those are my biggest two, and then Colson Loveland is up there. Now that we've all know he's going to be a Chicago Bear. So he had a grade 5 AC joint injury. So you're a acromioclavicular joint. That's right here. It's, if you've seen the picture of Keenan Allen, how his is like super jacked up here. That's his AC joint. He just never got surgery. His was grade 5. It was bad enough for surgery. So he had surgery in January. So, typically it's about a 6-month full recovery process. The season's 7 months away from his surgery. So he's just not going to get a lot of time, ramp up time, to be a full go as any rookie. Once he's getting onto the field and whatever, he'll be all right. But I just think the ramp up time is going to be a little bit slower with that injury. So that's my concern for this season. Not really anything, career wise. It's just this season.
So will he be ready to go for camp? Is what you're projecting?
I don't think he's gonna be a full go. No.
Okay.
No. So
okay.
Yeah,
interesting.
Because
hell of a pick, Joe.
They don't need to. I'll let Joe just seethe for just a little bit longer. They don't need him to go right away, which is the good thing for them. It's another target for Caleb Williams. Let's just talk about positives. It is another target for Caleb Williams, which is good. I did project, or me and Billy kind of both talked about how eventually they're going to need a succession plan for Kmet. I don't think they're going to sign this long term. He is signed for a couple more years though, so it's like
I feel like Kmet. This is a death sentence.
This is a death
10th overall. 10th overall. That is a death note for
that's trade deadline
Kmet
at the latest for Kmet.
Sadly,
I can't see them going too many 2 tight end sets with the 3 wide receivers that they have. It just wouldn't make sense to take one of those guys off the field.
Why wouldn't you go Warren though? Oh, all right, Joe. Let's let Joe speak. I really
concerns me, Warren. All right, Joe. What? Give us the full rundown here. What's going on?
He's from Idaho, which I appreciate.
Okay, so that is a strong start.
Didn't know that.
He does like potatoes.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the pick's fine. Whatever. Ryan Poles said it was going to get wild, and I guess that's what he meant. Was like, hey, we're going to take a fucking end of the first round talent here at 10. It's real wild.
I was hoping Loveland went to the Eagles at 32, which is like wild to me now looking back on this. Like, you think Howie's on the phone with everyone to try to get Warren right now?
I doubt it. I think that the Colts, I mean, unless he's trying to get up in front of the Colts, but I think the Colts are locked in at Warren now.
Miami could trade down. San Francisco is probably a trade down candidate as well. But anyway, sorry, that's unrelated. I love Loveland, and I just feel like at this point, if you're drafting him 10th overall, like, why wouldn't you have just traded back? This is one of those moments where it's like, it's not a bad pick, like Joe said. It's just like, you could have waited. Like, you didn't need to do this right now. He was projected in like the 20s.
Yeah.
If he's your favorite guy, go get him. I mean, if Ben Johnson was like, I love this kid, I need him, go get him. I mean,
I hope you can clip this later and be like, we were so wrong about Loveland.
I mean, I do think he's going to be a fine player. He's the more prototypical tight end. I don't know if maybe they were just super locked on Ashton Genty, and then the Raiders taking him, threw him off, and they're like, fuck, what do we do?
We should have known that Genty wasn't making it. We tried to tell them, but they don't listen to us. They haven't taken
They had to eat anchovies.
No, he's going to be great. I just don't know what the fantasy implications are, because DJ Moore, you got Rome.
I was about to say, we haven't even mentioned it yet. In rookie drafts, where are you drafting Loveland? Like, I didn't even think of him as a top 12 pick in a super flex. I don't think that's changed weirdly enough.
So I don't think it changed for me, but I think it moves the needle for other people. Like, I feel like they see a top 10 pick and they think we have to go draft him earlier now. Like, and it's maybe not earlier than Warren still, but I think the conversation starts coming in for especially dynasty experts out there. Like, they're gonna start putting Loveland higher because of this pick now, which is kind of wild. So.
Yeah, you got a bad situation. Well, bad fantasy situation, and then again, a little bit of the injury concerns as far as what he's going to look like week 1 for productivity. So, I mean, as a football team and as a football player, I think it's a fine pick. But from a fantasy perspective, that probably just makes I wasn't super on him, but it probably makes me fade him that much more.
Well, I just feel like at this point, like Billy said,
for sure,
blood is in the water, and Kmet is more than likely going to be traded at this point. I mean, because he has.
I mean, they could use him, but if they use him, I mean, I don't know what that does for him.
His value is not going to increase.
Laporta in that offense was great, but that was when J-Mo was in all the legal shit and suspended.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we saw what happened to Laporta. He came on a little bit at the end of the year, but J-Mo was still kind of the number 2 there. So you already have Rome and DJ and Swift, and they're drafted running back and Kmet. I mean, it's great for the Bears. Don't get me wrong. I like it. But for fantasy, not as much of a fan.
Yeah, it's not. The thing is like, it's one of those picks where, like, I don't think this is going to do anything really for fantasy. Like, I just don't see, people were hating Kyle Pitts gets picked 4th overall, and we just immediately expected him to be one of the top tight ends. He gets picked 10th overall. I don't even think he's going to crack drafts, weirdly enough. Maybe as somebody taking him a super late dart throw, but you're not picking him very high at all. I mean, I don't know.
Damn it.
There it is.
Joe.
Post clarity. So.
Joe.
It could be worse. It could have been
clarity
worse.
right there.
Damn. Yeah. It could have been worse.
Definitely could have been. Could have picked a quarterback like the Falcons randomly.
Joe, do you have the pick yet for the 49ers?
No.
Okay. Sorry, I thought that's what you guys were talking about.
Joe is literally an hour behind at this point.
Yeah, somehow
so.
he's behind. I thought I was behind.
I'm trying to run a particle accelerator on a shitty
it
laptop.
literally, it
Okay.
feels like that. Yeah, you're literally like chiseling out word by word in like a stone.
Yeah.
It feels like what you're running over there.
Your computer probably just represents what my Xbox 360 was going through in Warzone in 2020 when I was rocking it
Oh
on the
Jesus!
Xbox One, like just.
Red ring of death here. Michael Williams, exciting.
There you go.
Exciting.
Michael Williams to the 49ers. We kind of our guesses for the 49ers were they need so much. Does this move the needle on Bosa being traded like at all? I mean,
No, this
okay.
is just another guy for them. They needed a second edge rusher.
for sure.
We were kind of
For sure.
thinking
They've been filling it in with veterans over the
Yeah.
years, and it hasn't worked. So
Yeah.
No, this was a good call for them. I think this is the kind of guy they needed to get right away. Does he have any injury concerns? I guess you should be asking Sebastian that first.
No, not that I'm tracking.
do you fear of any injury concerns, Sebastian?
Like for just guys generally.
It was just a pun. I just said your last name and then your first name. Do you fear?
Well, I guess as a Giants fan, are you worried about Abdul Carter at all? If I don't know if we asked you about that yet.
I mean, so we can talk about that real quick. So Carter, the shoulder thing was one thing. It happens, not a big deal. He was able to come back. The stress reaction for the foot, I think, is what caused a little bit more concern because it's a little more of a weird one. But a stress reaction is essentially like a precursor to a bone stress injury or fracture. So it was just like, hey, man, what you're doing is, if you keep running on it, it could potentially get bad. So it wasn't at the point where he obviously needed surgery or anything like that. So, I'm not super concerned. He was coming off a time where he was playing a college football playoff and then trying to train for the draft and, asking his body to do a lot. So really long term, no, there was no actual injury. If he actually had a bone stress fracture, yeah, that would be concerning because the number one precursor for an injury risk is the previous injury to that body part. So the fact that it was kind of like not an actual injury makes me a little bit, better. So I'm not super concerned there. I think he should be fine. A little bit better of a dietitian cheating.
Oh my God, we're rapid firing these picks, huh?
What do you mean?
I got the Cowboys on picking right now.
Oh yeah, Cowboys are already done. Just gotta wait for Joe.
Yeah, I'm gonna hear this one, and I'll let you guys enjoy because I want to make sure we can make fun of the Cowboys a little bit before I get off.
Oh yeah, we have to make fun of the Cowboys. All right, Tyler Booker. So they've literally been linked to Matthew Golden, Ted McMillan, Ashton Genty, literally the plethora of wide receiver
and the first one's
talent. And what do they end up doing? Help for Dak. Okay.
A guard too.
I mean, I don't hate it. I actually really like Booker. I think Simmons was ranked a bit higher than him going tackle, but I don't know exactly what the Cowboys need outside. Man, Booker's hyped though, and I love that for him. They're
replacing Zach Martin, which I guess this is their idea of that.
Okay, so once again, smart, but like I assume we're going to see a wide receiver in the second round for them because they need one. Everyone and every analyst out there has said so. Like they're just linking wide receivers to this team. You got to get someone. You did nothing in free agency. Like, I mean, this is great and everything. Keep Dak healthy because those are the chips you've moved in. But like, you got to go get someone to catch a ball other than CD. You cannot let CD get injured again. I mean,
this is great for Javonte.
This is true.
I'm surprised they didn't. Yeah, that wasn't very flashy. I think as an organization, it's a good pick for next season. I don't think it moves any type of needles. Like you're saying, there's a severe lack of skill guys past CeeDee Lamb. The running back room, I think, is laughable. Again, maybe because it's the Cowboys, but it's not. I don't think you can. If they want to roll that out as a Giants fan, I'm fine with it. But if you're a Cowboys fan, you're telling me, you've got Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. Basically,
two of my favorite running backs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I'm actually not hating it. I'm assuming they add someone, obviously day two. But I actually think it's a fine running back room for the interim. You know what I mean? Like they're obviously not. None of these are long term guys at this point. Although Javonte could turn into that. And Sanders, you can't tell me that Sanders is bad. He was on the Carolina Panthers, and then they just decided Chuba was better, which Chuba might have been better. But Sanders went out and ran behind one of the best lines. You go get a guard. Sanders,
Well,
this line ain't bad either.
I was going to say, I think Sanders was a little bit fortunate with the situation with the Eagles. As much as it pains me to say, one of the best offensive lines in the league the past 3-5 years, right?
Well, it pains you to say. It's the truth. You can't. Still pains you to say it. Sorry.
We're keeping it friendly. The season's too far away. But
trust me, we don't have to keep it friendly off the air. So
don't get
feel free to flood the inbox.
I will not say too many nice things about the Eagles, but yeah, I mean, look, Miles Sanders, I think he showed some pop, but I think both those guys are just, I think they're a little bit washed up, but hey, we'll see. That's why they actually play the games. But hey, gentlemen, appreciate y'all having me on. Keep rocking the night away. Hopefully, you don't consume too much Fireball. Maybe you do. Maybe that's what you want to do. So
depends on how the situation goes.
Sebastian, I just wanted to say one more thing before you go. Obviously, great to have you on the pod, and all things seriously, thank you so much for Saquon. That was super helpful. Really helped me run.
Had to be so.
Oh man, I was supposed to get a good night's sleep tonight. I've seen that backwards hurdle enough in my nightmare, so I appreciate it. But all right, gentlemen, take care, and I'll be seeing you rest of the offseason, man.
Yeah, for sure. Reaching out for injury info, man.
Yeah, anytime, hit my line.
Thank you. All right, that was Sebastian. All right, boys. I don't know what the Cowboys were doing, honestly. Like, that was such a reach. They could have traded down to the Eagles pick and probably still might have ended up with Tyler Booker.
I would say, once again, 20s. I feel like the Bears and the Cowboys, sorry, Bears fans and Joe out there, but, like, you guys just did what the Cowboys just did. You just pulled a Jerry Jones and drafted solidly too early and probably could have instilled some more draft capital out of it all. Booker is hyped though, man. All I've seen is him just sprinting across the screen, and I love it. Like, he is having just a good time out there. But I mean, he probably also didn't know he was going to go 12th overall. Just so wild to me to reach on Booker like that, and for that matter, Loveland as well. I mean, it's not that it's bad picks. Neither of them, like, he's the best guard in the draft, and Loveland could be arguably one of the best. He is one of the best tight ends in the draft. Warren's a more unique skill set. I mean, probably closer to the Taysom Hill skill set, where he can be kind of that running back / fullback / tight end out of the backfield. Really was expecting Warren to be gone by now. Honestly, kind of shocked. I mean, I know we've mocked him to the Colts, but I feel like we really thought Warren might go to the Bears, and I guess they didn't like what they saw. Like, but Billy, spot on with that tight end pick.
It is more about like I think they want to get like a good solid run game going, whereas I think Loveland might be able to be more of a complete tight end, whereas like Warren, not that he's not necessarily a good run blocker, but I think you're going to get a lot more out of that with Loveland than you would get out of, and pass blocking for that matter, out of Loveland than you would get out of Warren. I don't know. I don't hate that pick. I do hate the Cowboys pick. I think that was a mistake. A guard at 12. Like,
they need so much.
They do.
They need so much.
You could get the guard later. Like, you don't need like Jerry. Somebody needs to take the car keys away from Jerry. That's the short and skinny.
No, please don't. Please don't. I want to see the Cowboys fail year in and year out. Although I do want to see a wide receiver opposite of CeeDee Lamb, because like I want to see him do well. Like, he's good. So
what's that thing that Britney Spears had, the conservatorship or whatever? They need to do that on Jerry.
I mean, worst comes worst, you're going to give it to his son. You're going to give it to his son, and it's going to be just as bad.
Yeah.
Man, were those some rapid fire picks, or were we just having a good time? I felt like those were quick.
Yeah, Dolphins pick is in too.
Yeah, I see picks in. I got commercial at the moment. Joe left us.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get the sardines and the fireball. I mean, come on.
I'm actually not even more. I'm more worried about his
time bomb there.
I feel like someone needs to check in on him. I mean, the Loveland.
I wanted to make sure, because that's why I knew what the pick was, and I asked him. That's why I asked him, who would you really be devastated to get right here?
Well, but you didn't. Nobody assumed it was going to be Loveland. I mean,
I don't. But had he said Loveland, it would have been incredible footage of me knowing it was Loveland already and him saying it was Loveland.
Are you gonna peep all the picks picks now, or are you just have you been peeping the whole time?
Well, I've been peeping for trades. I'm not really peeping for picks necessarily. And again, still not going to spoil anything.
Like 9 through 12 were all rapid fire picks too. Like everyone knew exactly who they were getting right then. I think honestly, Goodell probably said, "Hey guys, slow down. We need to make some TV time. We got a lot of commercials to pay for here." But
yeah, well, I mean, you say that, but I feel like at the same time, it is 8:30 and we're only a third of the way through the draft.
Yeah, but it's usually a 4-hour experience. I mean,
that's true.
So anyway, let's just talk about the Dolphins pick because I feel like the conversation needs to be had about Jalen Ramsey. So obviously Jalen Ramsey could be traded at this point. So we might be seeing a cornerback. Once again, I'm not spoiling any picks. I'm watching it live / 20 seconds extra. Maybe a plus 20 there. But corner could be an option. We could go offensive, defensive line. I mean, honestly, there's plenty of options out here. So I'm getting it now. So we will tune in and see how much fanfare there is around the pick. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, it's happening. That's what happened with the Bears. Is it was like Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Yeah, I'm watching it on. It's happened on my screen.
He's talking right now. Fair. Okay. Kenneth Grant to the Dolphins.
Yep. I think this is a big mistake. I think he's another guy you could have gotten later. I think you could have gotten him
I feel like this is about where he goes. I mean, maybe minus 3 picks, 3-4 picks, but my logic is, are you invested in making, like, are all the rumors fine? Like, is Jalen Ramsey fine? He's staying. Is Tyreek Hill fine? Is he staying? I think we originally had him mocking a wide receiver here in one of the 3 or 4 mock drafts we had. But Mike McDaniel not going after the fastest guy in the draft is weird too, so I don't think Ken Grant. I think Ken Grant.
He probably had a card for Matthew Golden in his hand, and he somebody tackled him and wrestled it away real quick.
He's the fastest guy. We got to go get him.
Right.
He's like, Tyreek will leave. Do not draft.
No, I think the most interesting. I think the most interesting things that can be said so far is there's really not been any defensive ends taken. We kind of thought Jalen Walker would be gone by now, which is a little strange.
Mike Green, easy.
Technically Michael Williams was one, and then Abdul Carter. But I think maybe we thought there would be.
I was going to say, was Michael Williams the one that everyone had mocked the Eagles to fall all the way down?
I'm pretty sure at one of our draft, or one of ours, I'm pretty sure.
Not us, but I'm talking about just everyone.
I don't know. Again, Kenneth Grant doesn't really move the needle for fantasy, so we don't really need to talk that much about it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, it's really just Abdul Carter and Michael Williams so far. And was it Michael Williams? Best available edge. James Pierce is still there. Mike Green, Shamar Stewart. Yeah, it was Michael Williams was supposed to slip to the Eagles because of the character concerns. Sorry, I had to double check because I wasn't sure. Because that was the Georgia guy everyone just assumed was going to make it to the Eagles. But honestly, at this point, the Eagles would take James Pierce, Green, easy. There are plenty of edge rushers out there.
There's still a lot of good talent here left on the board, so I don't know.
I'm interested to see where Jihad and Jalen Walker go, and if they go day one. The inside linebacker can be a huge role as well.
I thought that Walker was going to go to the Saints. The fact that they went Kelvin Banks was a little surprising to me.
Yeah, I felt like defense made more sense.
Picks made for the Colts, so
I don't have it yet. Hold on, it's coming. Okay. I'm actually not so far behind you anymore somehow. It's literally doing my ding, 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 ding. Yeah, makes sense. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that was what we all mocked, everyone mocked. And now this is the race of did the Bears make a mistake by going to get Loveland before Warren?
I mean, we won't know, but I'll tell you this I will probably, if I have a late pick in the first round of a dynasty draft, gonna have to wrestle that Tyler Warren card away from me because This is exciting for them. I understand the quarterback situation. I get it. And I'm not stupid. But at the same time, Tyler Warren is a very exciting athlete. There's a lot that the Colts can do with him in this offense. I don't know. I'm pretty pumped.
As big as he is too. That's the crazy thing. Like I'm excited about seeing what Warren can do, and hopefully, and this is actually what the Colts have been missing for many years pre Anthony Richardson. They haven't had a tight end in so long, and this is what they need. They need a guy to be able to go get those short down yards. So seeing Tyler Warren going here, obviously we kind of all expected it to happen, but I'm excited to see him do some wildcat, or let's say Anthony Richardson's not having a good game, like let's give him the ball too, do some fakes with Anthony Richardson or Jonathan Taylor. I mean, there's plenty of options that we could see with Tyler Warren, and man, I am excited to see it for the Colts because the Colts are a very disappointing team at the current moment. So
I do think year one it's going to be not necessarily
some throws. We're showing some throws. He might throw better than Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. They might just make him the quarterback. We could see it. Man, I still feel like this round is going awfully fast because we didn't start till 7, 15, 20 tops. So we've gone through 14 picks in an hour and 20 minutes. Joe might be back, or he's just seething this Tyler Warren pick for the Colts. I'm not 100% sure.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Fuck Tyler Warren.
I've come to talk with you.
All right,
again.
Joe. Are you worried that we're going to have the comparison game in football news for the Warren Loveland pick for the next 5 years?
Two completely different players, Josh.
I think they play the same position, though.
Nah.
All right, if you
I think for year one, both
is going to
be rough.
We would sign a fullback.
Hey, man, good for Tyler Warren for making the fullback position relevant again.
Yeah.
Because it has been
somebody had to do it.
And honestly, if any team could use a fullback, it's the Colts with Jonathan Taylor. Just get him just that extra 5 yards each time so we don't have to see Richardson or Daniel Jones throwing the ball.
So how'd the Falcons get here?
This is their pick.
Oh, it is 15.
They're just bad.
I thought it was 16. My fault.
Yeah, they stink.
No, we haven't seen any trades other than the 2 and 5 swap, at least first round. I'm interested to see because I did mean to bring it up with Sebastian whenever he was on. I really thought that the Giants will trade up in the late first round and go and get whether it's Shedeur or Jackson Dart. I could see them just making that second round pick available, swapping a 5th round for a 6th round or whatever it takes to move up that 4 or 5 picks. Especially if Shedeur slips down to the 30s, because all the teams that were in the Super Bowl or had Super Bowl dreams all have quarterbacks. So those last 5 picks, that's a freebie. You don't even have, if he makes it past the Commanders, I mean, or wherever that cutoff is, the Bills, you got that. You got Bills, Commanders, Chiefs, Eagles. Before that, you got Baltimore. I mean, Cincinnati's well before that, but there's a solid 6 picks at the back end of the draft where you can immediately just go get a quarterback whenever you're ready, whoever's willing to make that trade. Why do I smell fried chicken?
That's a stroke.
That was toast, I thought. Yeah, we ate dinner.
Upgraded it to fried chicken.
I'm interested in what is Kristen cooking something right now? Like that'd be so dope.
Random fried chicken
for my anchovy stomach, sardine stomach.
Oh, that's probably smart.
Little ginger ale. I was gonna say I actually had to run to go get another beer because my California beer is running out, and the other one's a 10%er, so I don't need that one tonight.
Nope, you're gonna end up hammered.
Oh no, you'll end up hammered just drinking one of those. I don't need it on top of all the extra stuff. So we still got Falcons clock ticking on my end over here. 2.5 seconds.
2 minutes.
What's the pick, Josh?
For Atlanta?
Yeah.
They're weird. So I for some reason I feel like I've actually been feeling this for a long time here. Is I really feel like Egbuka to the Falcons. I understand that that's not like the best pick or what should be happening or what's been mocked anywhere, but I've been really leaning on Igbokwe being better than people think he's going to be. Especially if he goes to Houston, but for some reason I feel like Atlanta might not be sold with their current receiving core. I mean, they're picking at pick 15 for a reason, not because of their receiving core, but they might not be sold on it. London, Pitts, Bijan, all top picks. Were supposed to be amazing. Bijan has been. Everyone else, London has been better. Mooney was great, but like, is this a rental? Like, are you really getting something? They already shipped out Rondale Moore. Like, he never even played there. Obviously, McLeod's fun, but like, this is also the fun pick. I mean, more than likely, they'll probably go offensive tackle. Josh Simmons is looking likely, in my opinion. Defense makes a lot of sense as well, but I don't know with the last few picks going and being a lot of defensive edge and defensive tackles, seems like offense to me personally. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I like Jalen Walker or Will Johnson, and if it's not either of those two, I'm drinking this.
I think it's going to be a cornerback. I legitimately don't know, so don't worry. I'm not faking this out. I think they should go cornerback for real.
We had Will Johnson.
While you were gone, we were talking about how Jalen Walker. I thought Jalen Walker or what's his face would be gone by now. Jihad Campbell.
Yeah.
At least one of them. I mean, I assumed it would have been Jalen Walker, but I mean, Jihad. I could see Jihad jumping over Jalen.
I mean, I get the K. Nellis is here, and Jalen Walker and him kind of are the same. But could you imagine the versatility that defense would have?
Who cares? You have multiple linebackers playing. Like, what does it matter? I don't care who the mic is. Just
you could have one of them playing on the edge every snap.
Yeah, tell the other person to go tackle the quarterback every play.
Yeah, get Braylon Trice healthy, and he can do.
Yeah, no, Atlanta could use a good pass rusher, and I think Jalen Walker would be that guy. Will Johnson. I mean, we're waiting for that name to be called. I mean, it's coming. But I don't know why. I've been sold on Igbokwe. I think Igbokwe goes a lot faster than we think. I think, especially now that the Cowboys passed on Golden, I think Igbokwe is the next wide receiver off the board. And you know what? I'll take a fireball shot on that. Although I am out of fireball, I'll have to do Crown Apple. So
here, I got another one.
Oh, thanks. Fair. That'd be great if I pulled one out of the screen.
I'll take. What did you say? You were Golden or?
I said that Igbokwe gets drafted before Golden. To make this.
I'll take the Golden pick.
Joe, do you want Higgins or Burden? Just to make it more fun? And he's like,
I like how you're always let's make this more fun by adding in somebody who does not likely going to be.
Hey, Burden could be. I know that he fell off a cliff, but I'm hoping Burden gets drafted in the first round just because I don't feel like he deserves the fall off that he's gotten in mock drafts. And I don't think anyone else believes it either. I got Pickens.
He's great. It just matters the landing spot. And if they're actually going to use him as a wide receiver, if they just think he's going to be some gadget player.
I do think Luther Burden would fit in the Falcons core.
Yeah.
But I don't know about Penix, honestly. Now that I'm talking about wide receivers, I don't know if I want a wide receiver to go to Penix. But I do not have that, Billy, so calm down with your little nodded head.
I mean, the Falcons have been a total wild card. Are they a wild card this time?
No. That's not spoiling. They're not. I don't think they're not a wild card.
Harold Fannin. What?
3 tight ends in the first round? Have you gotten it yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, me and Billy literally did the exact same thing, which was hilarious. And I didn't even think about it until I did it. And anyway, I'll just talk about the next pick on the board. We got Arizona coming up.
Hey, I don't have to drink this.
Hey,
there you go.
Hey.
I'm proud of you.
Winner.
The cap off and everything, dude. That was amazing.
The thing is, the Falcons had to do that. Like that there was no other option. Like I know that I'm talking about a cornerback, and we did that in our mock too. But they need a pass rusher, and with Jalen Walker just free falling down the board, it feels like to us at least. Only made sense. I mean, we would have done that in our mock draft. Had Walker fallen this far, we would have done that ourselves.
I thought
To be
Jalen
fair-
Walker was going to go in the top 5, to be honest with you. He's
Yeah.
that good of a player. He's going to make a huge impact for them. They needed to do it. That's smart.
True linebackers don't get the credit that they deserve anymore. They're literally the quarterback of the defense. And also, this one can play edge. Like
I was about to say, yeah, you have a sacking one too.
a sacking line. This is Zach Bond in the draft, and you got him at 15. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
amazing. I'm saying Zach Bond. He's had one good year in his entire career, but I will be right back, gentlemen. I'm just gonna take a quick break.
Okay. Okay, you have to announce it. You could just go. It's fine. No issues.
I needed to announce it.
I announced
Okay,
mine.
thank you.
I announced mine.
Joe's just like, you know what? I'm leaving. Honestly, that's a great pick. He will be kind of, slightly high for me in IDP drafts. I feel like I'll think about him in the second round because he's going to get play right away. You're not going to have to wait on him to get on the field. He's going to go straight up.
If you play in a big play IDP league, Jalen Walker all day. He's going to get you sacks. He's going to get you forced fumbles. He'll probably get you interceptions. He's not bad in coverage either. So, and he's going to be a tackle machine. The only concern is with Caden Ellis there. Like, they're kind of similar players with how they operate. So it just depends where they're going to use him. I mean, they signed Divine Diablo as well. So they have a solid ass linebacker core. And if they can keep him up on the edge some more and give him, 50% of the snaps at linebacker, be sick.
And somebody just put on, or Benjamin Solak on Twitter just put, the last 5 Bears first round picks have not been defense. They haven't taken defense since Roquan Smith in 2018.
Monsters of the Midway, no longer a thing.
Monsters on offense, I guess.
That's good though, man. Get Caleb as much as you can.
I don't know. If we had to do a quick winners or losers, Joe, your Bears would be closer to a loser than a winner. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, why would you sign Kmet? I understand that Ben Johnson came in, but you just signed Kmet to a massive tight end deal.
Yeah.
For 4 years. And now you're drafting. I mean, I get the whole Gronk and Aaron Hernandez thing, but how often is
I feel like at a certain point, I was about to say, I feel like at a certain point we got to stop using that example because it only literally worked like one time in NFL history. And it hasn't and that was, even that alone was like 14 years ago at this point. So it's probably just not going to happen. And that's okay. It doesn't have to happen again. It just seems like it should have.
I mean, it's just like Cole Kmet's a very prototypical tight end. He is great in the end zone, good pass catcher, he's a good blocker. And you just, like, Tyler Warren would have made a lot more sense to differentiate yourself at the tight end position. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Colson Loveland's going to be a great player, but
Is it true? Is it true that the Bears had not selected a offensive weapon or a defensive weapon since in the first round since Roquan?
Yeah.
Interesting. Like I heard that, and I literally have just been spitballing on that.
Yep. See if I can find the tweet again.
Makes sense because the offense has been just dog shit for the last 6 years. Like, I mean, barring this last year was pretty decent.
Well, it's crazy to think how much they've spent on it. So, 2019 they drafted Justin Fields at 11. 2020 Darnell Wright at 10. 2021 Caleb Williams. Oh wait, no, I might be wrong. Last 5 Bears first round picks. Okay, so this is just the last 5. It's been Justin Fields, Darnell Wright, Caleb Williams, Roma Dunze, and Colson Loveland.
We're counting this year too. Sorry, I was thinking like past tense, like last 6 years.
Well, they still haven't taken one since 2018 Roquan Smith. So I mean, technically it's been 7 years. They just haven't had first round picks some of those years.
Oh, fair. I forgot about those days. What happened to your picks? Was it Fields? Was the Fields trade? Lost picks because
wouldn't be Fields. It would be
was it Trubisky?
Khalil
Mack. That's right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Janae Barron looks bored as shit.
I think a lot of these guys in this green room are like, "What the hell is happening? Like, what? Why are we not taken already?" I have to assume. Well, at this point, Jalen Milroe better fucking be in there. He might as well just like carve out his corner of the room. He's not getting drafted in the first round. I will play a fireball shot on that at this point. If Shedeur is not going to go till 20, there's no way Jalen Milroe is in and up in the first round.
No,
there's
I'll take the Jalen Milroe doesn't make it in the first round as long as I don't have to take it tonight.
Okay. Oh, you're saying take it later.
32nd pick. That's 11 o'clock.
Cardinals, what a great pick.
I will write it down. Now, Walter Nolan, this is great. See, this is the problem with us doing like a fantasy podcast and then commenting on the draft, because a lot of these are fun picks, not necessarily fantasy relevant picks. Walter Nolan's not going to be fantasy relevant, but it's going to be. It's a fun, good pick for the Cardinals,
though. Oh, Joe Perry, we're in a group chat with the Bears fans. I love that.
Oh yeah,
Perry is just blowing it up.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't know how I feel about it.
We could have had Jalen Walker, dude.
I don't think you. Well, if you count him if you would have played him as an edge for sure, but linebacker wise, y'all filled in the Roquan hole pretty decently with the two guys and literally paid them the same contract as Roquan got. So, and yes, Roquan is one man, would be cool, but Tremaine Edmonds has been fine. TJ Edwards has been fire. Like that was a solid move. Y'all need to go back to the signing Eagles players after they leave. I don't know why y'all didn't go get Milton Williams or Josh Sweat and have the Sweat brothers. That'd have been fun. And I honestly think that them both being like fringe edge ones out there would be like they'd feed off of it. Like Josh would go get one, then Montez would go get one, like every game, and then they'd all have at the end of the season they'd both have 17 sacks, and it'd be like the coolest thing. I was actually kind of hoping for that. Especially after the last couple of years.
Why has Jonathan Gannon not been doing this with the defense all along? Like, as soon as he got there, why has he not been doing this exact kind of thing? Walter Nolan's a great pick for that team. Like, I'm just thinking about it more now. Well, I'm just like, why has he not been building it this way the whole time? Doesn't make any sense.
This goes back to Carolina with the whole Tet McMillan pick. It makes no sense, really. Like, they're not competing and like, oh, sure, whatever. But it's putting people in seats. It's putting some jersey sales out there. That's why they went and got Marvin Harrison. I mean, they couldn't pass up Marvin Harrison. Like it was best available. Like they didn't have a choice. Like, honestly, I think he would have went defense if there was a better option there, but going and getting Marvin Harrison Jr. made so much sense for Arizona, and they needed a wide receiver 1. I mean, Trey McBride is their wide receiver 1. I'd count Harrison as a wide receiver 2 at the moment. I'd love to see better.
Now, Bengals are on the clock here. Now, this will be an interesting pick. I don't have any clue where we're headed right now.
Could you imagine if they didn't sign Gesicki and they were hoping for the draft to get Loveland here or one of the tight ends? Oh man, they'd be so mad. Then Fannin might go in third.
This would be a great defensive back spot. I mean, they could get. You would assume they'd go edge here, but I don't know. Are they not scared of Mike Green at this point?
I think this is where Will Johnson finally gets off the board. I think an edge would be super cool to replace Sam Hubbard, and Pierce would be great. Like, I don't think that would be a bad pick, or Easy, or whoever their best is, Mike Green. But I feel like Will Johnson going and getting what's supposed to be a lockdown corner might be a good idea. Like, one edge rusher is a drop in the bucket, like, for them. Like, I don't think that fixes their situation. I mean, as we saw last year, we had 20-something sacks. So like, did that help? Did it make any difference on their defense? No. You need someone to shut down a wide receiver 1 on that team, so you can go out there and say Justin Jefferson ain't getting shit today. We're gonna have to see Addison do it, or whoever, vice versa. Or say there is a team with just one wide receiver, I'm gonna shut him down. I mean, even if it's 50 yards, like that's what you need. And I think Will Johnson can be that guy. That's my pick here. I don't know what we had in our mocks. I need to pull up our mocks.
You should just take Hampton here and say, fuck the defense.
Dude, get another running back.
Or Ibuka, just keep loading up wide receivers.
I do think they'll get a running back, but I don't think they pull it here. Like, I think everyone in their Chase Brown. I tweeted something out about Chase Brown last week, and nobody talked about it. Like, no, everybody hates me on Twitter. Maybe I should tweet more. I don't know what the
Pretty
algorithm's
lame on
like.
Twitter.
It's probably what it is, Josh. If
Pretty
you don't tweet,
lame
if you don't tweet as much, they probably
You're
aren't
cool
going to see
in real
it.
life, You're real lame on Twitter.
Wait, sorry, what?
I said you're really cool in real life and really lame on Twitter.
I love that, man. You know, honestly, I just have a thought in my mind. I'm like, that's a good tweet. It never is. All right,
Fair
so
enough.
what we had for the Bengals was Mike Green, Tyler Warren. That was early on. Buka, ironically, but that was pre-T. Higgins signing, and Mike Green on our final mock.
I don't think we're far off. I do like Will Johnson here.
Mike Green. I'm kind of convinced that we're correct, and it's Mike Green.
The pick is in.
It is.
10 minutes later.
I'm pulling up our mocks for the rest of the way because this is where it starts getting spicy, and I want to know where we're right or wrong. Man, that Shedeur Sanders going to Tennessee over the first mock was wild. Now that I'm looking back on it.
Well, at that point in time, I mean,
No, 100%. Like we all thought it, and I honestly what changed with Shedeur? Like,
I think people just aren't sold that he is as good as he was in college. I just don't know what people think is different about watching tape and waiting for people to be crazy with their mock drafts versus just taking the guy that you just watched play football. I don't know.
well, I mean, was it just Travis Hunter? Was that the issue? Like we just assumed Travis Hunter was better?
I honestly don't
inflated
think
the
so
numbers?
because some of his good games weren't necessarily good Travis Hunter games. Travis Hunter was good. I mean, he won a Heisman Trophy, but I mean, he still had really good other guys. LeJontay Wester was a guy that he was really using a lot. I love that guy. Bet made quite a bit of money on LeJontay Wester this season.
Joe, you got the pick yet?
Him and RIP Kyron Lacy. Kyron Lacy made me so much money this past college football season. Like, he made me so much money.
Suit.
His anytime touchdown props were just money in the bank.
Joe, I assume you have the pick by now.
No.
Shamar Stewart goes to the Bengals, which makes sense. We were talking about edge rushers. We were talking about Mike Green. It's fun fact about Shamar Stewart. I was looking like where we had him. First two, 30th to the Eagles. Somehow this was pre Super Bowl. They wouldn't give us 32 yet. And then we had him going, just lost it, 23 to the Packers. And then we randomly had a huge jump on Shamar Stewart going to the Saints at 9. And then he dropped back down to...
That was you can tell exactly when that was. That was when he got like that perfect score at the combine.
Oh, you had him going back to the Packers, ironically enough, at 23 in the last draft. But yeah, I mean, if they like him, that's fine. I just feel like this is another... who's the defensive tackle they drafted a couple years back when we all thought they were going tight end? I'll look it up. I should have said.
Trust me, I don't remember.
Miles Murphy. I don't even have to look it up.
That's right.
Yeah, we were just kind of like, what are you doing? And I was actually watching that draft with a Bengals fan, and he was just like, dude, like, again, like, I do get it. If you're going to keep Hendrickson, another edge rusher makes a lot of sense. I'm sitting here like, are we happy about this? Like,
well, maybe this means they're not keeping Hendrickson. Maybe they're like, fair. You know what? Now we have insurance. If in case you want to get too greedy, we just went and took an edge rusher in the first round of the draft.
Yeah, and I mean
Stewart's a great player, but this is where I felt like he needed to go. I just didn't want my Bears taking him in the top 10. That was my...
That's fair. I mean, 17, 18 sounds about right, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he's a wrecking ball. He's going to be great in the NFL. It's just like you need someone that's actually going to get the sacks.
That is the big issue. It's like Gary Davenport said on Twitter. He said it's a good landing spot for Stewart. Question is whether he can turn potential into production. And that is literally the story and the book on Shamar Stewart. I'm going to be staying away from him in IDP drafts.
Gary is wise as always.
So
Yeah,
Seattle's
pre-draft,
interesting.
he sent out an email to the Kings Classic guys, and he was like talking about what we want to do with Travis Hunter, or if we want to switch platforms because of Travis Hunter. And I was like, that's a really good commissioner right there.
That is
Just
a
get
good
off
commissioner.
of MFL in general.
Love that.
God, I hate MFL. Don't know if I should have said that on the air, but here we are. We're already there. So Titans are up on the board now. Or so Seahawks, my bad.
Okay.
The other
No,
blue
that's
and silver team.
That's my bad. So we had them going Membu originally, which obviously long gone. Burden the second time, but I think that was pre-Cup signing. Tyler Booker, further proving that the Cowboys reached, and then Kelvin Banks in our final mock. So offensive line still seems like it could be an option. Is Simmons still out there right now?
He is.
So Simmons could be an option here. I don't know. Y'all got any?
I mean, Igbuka would be sweet. They could get
Dude,
Golden.
Schefter, you son of a bitch. Now he's spoiling the picks.
Well, yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad that I talked shit on him earlier about that because that's just ridiculous. Like,
well, I wasn't. Because I have his tweets turned on, and he's not all night. He has not called the pick out until it's been on the broadcast, and this one was a little ahead.
He's live.
I mean, people are probably like starting to fall off.
I accidentally spoiled it because I was trying to look at needs of Seattle. But I'm not too far behind, at least.
Yeah, not like
Hey, it is Gray Zabel.
It is. I tried to talk Gray Zabel into our mock draft, and you all
we did chat about him a couple times, and we did actually say that I think we had Kelvin Banks going there and just saying that someone will shift over and be their guard because we did have a guard going there the last time we were chatting about this, this is a great pick for them. I don't hate this. I mean, this is about a time a guard should be going, especially not one that's highly coveted.
He rented 250 acres of land to plant corn in South Dakota.
I love that.
That's such an offensive lineman move. He's going to be.
That is an offensive. He eats a lot of corn, and I love everything about that. I did see, and this is an hour old at this point because I've been staying off Twitter on purpose, but NFL schedule will be released May 14th, and damn, I'm ready to buy those Eagles-Chiefs tickets. Those are going to be fun and expensive.
Heck yeah.
Very expensive.
But the Bucks at this pick literally could take anyone. There is so many different people here that they could take. Either the cornerbacks, Will Johnson or Jahdae Barron. I could see him taking Jihad Campbell. I could see him taking Mike Green or James Pierce. I could see him take Nick Amenwore or Malachi Starks. Literally anything is on the table here as long as it's defense. As long as it is in the defensive metric, I'm fine with it.
Jalen Noel.
Simmons could be on the pick as well, though, too. I mean, Simmons could be picked by anyone at this point, I was just saying.
I wouldn't hate that, but I just don't think...
No, we did have Jihad Campbell in our last two mocks.
Just posted on the coffee table right there, so it's a good game.
Yeah. Where's our next guest at?
I'm just
Joel was supposed to come on at 8:35.
I just realized
that came and went. Hope everything's all good. But then again, the times may be confusing to people too because of the East Coast, West Coast, or East Coast, Midwest thing. And then we got Axton in 2 minutes.
Oh, good. I'm glad Axton finally made it. He said he could do it whenever, so you're on till midnight, buddy. Even if we're done, you got to stay here.
Well, we have Johnny coming on at 9:45.
Sorry, never mind. You got to leave by Johnny time.
Well, technically 10:45.
Yeah. So Mike Green, we had a kind of a floater throughout our drafts. He's been high, he's been low. We had him high in a couple middle drafts or really more edge drafts. I could see Mike Green going, but I really hope it's Jihad Campbell. We called this the last two drafts we had him going to the Bucks, and it makes sense. You gotta replace this linebacker core. It is old. I mean, I'm shocked that they've kept the guys they have. Levante David has been on the team for so long. Wild to me. And I love everything about it, but want to see some jihad here.
Yeah, I would like that
Jihad's
too.
great. He's like the old school middle linebacker, man. I mean, he's just gonna shut down the middle of the field.
Man, Bucks are taking a long time on this pick. It's probably because they have so many options.
It's too many options.
I
am loving these options that are slipping to the Eagles. I was really hoping for Loveland to the Eagles, but I guess that's not an option anymore. So, Joe, I was giving you all this hate on Loveland, but it was really just because it was the 10th pick. I actually wanted him on the Eagles.
The problem is the 10th pick, and that's what we were talking about while you were away. I don't know if you were listening to that part, but that was the problem. Like, it's not the problem that they have Loveland. Loveland's not a bad pick by himself. It's the fact that they got him at 10 when they could have gotten him at like 19 or 17.
But listen to this.
Sebastian was right, man. I think that they had something worked out with the Jags, in theory, to move up to get Genty. And then when the Jags moved up with the Browns, they completely lost
out the window.
Yeah, they completely were like, holy shit, who do we get? Let's get Loveland. He's next on our board.
So the Raiders had to be thinking, holy shit, we're not getting Genty anymore. Everyone's mocking him to the Jags. We're screwed. And then they got to go move up and go get their, offensive player of the future / defense. Who knows what Travis Hunter is. And then Genty just fell to the Raiders, and Raiders was like, yes. Remember when we thought Genty was going to make it to the Cowboys? That's just laughable at this point. Did Billy just pass out? Did Billy die on the air?
He's breathing.
No, I'm fine.
Have you even taken a fireball shot yet?
I'm just gonna take one now.
Should you just take one in solidarity with us?
Yep. Give me a sec. I'll be right back.
I appreciate it. Don't announce it though. You're not supposed to announce it. Gosh, can you believe this guy announcing it?
I can't.
He didn't see the pick because I would have seen close to the pick or whatever.
He's following Shefty.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's spoiling it. See, that's the problem is could you imagine being there and just knowing someone's on their phone looking at the pick before it happens? It's that's literally the reason you're there is to see it live. And honestly, let's just talk about how the internet's ruining everything. We're all so reliant on it at this point. I would love to be just watching this on just cable TV. No chance of even looking it up on the internet without hearing.
We could not sound much older.
How much shit do we find out about that's completely wrong just because someone was in a hurry to be the first person to tweet about?
Because they're so excited.
No, there's a bet that we made earlier tonight that I'm just going to already pay off now.
The Bucks drafted Shedeur Sanders? You're not saying no. I'm starting to get confused.
I don't have any minis, by the way. I am taking Fireball straight off.
I just saw it on accident.
Did you see the pic?
Through my screens, I had it.
I'm
and it literally
so fucking pissed. Cheers to fucking Bucks, bro.
Well, my
why the fuck they took Emeka Egbuka?
I'm gonna go ahead and victory lap my McMillan.
Are you fucking kidding me? This has to be the only thing that this makes sense for is what the Falcons did last year, where they just have insurance for an injury or something. Whereas if Mike Evans or Chris Godwin gets hurt, they have an already ready to go guy that can step in and fill in right away. But McMillan's not bad. I mean, given Josh, maybe I'm overselling McMillan. Maybe that's true, and maybe that's been true all along.
But
it was not enough to go get a first-round wide receiver. That seems extreme to me when your defense is as fucking bad as their defense is. This is horrible.
I will say, I did not expect this, and that's why I spit beer out on my computer whenever I did that. I was like... I have 4. Actually, I'm going to take a picture of this and send it to you because it is hilarious how I saw the pick.
I'm flabbergasted because this does nothing for him in fantasy. Nothing. At all.
Actually, so the good thing about this is all the people who have late picks, like the people who won their championship, can now get a star talent for next year. Like, and I say next year as in 2026,
quote unquote, because Chris Godwin's coming back. We don't think Mike Evans is going to retire. Jalen McMillan's serviceable. Like this is confusing, man. Did they not watch their defense get dog walked by every fucking team in the NFL?
I love the idea of saying, hey, we have Baker Mayfield. He's doing really well. Let's just get everything we can for him. But at that point, okay, so in contradictory statement to what I made of the bet, wouldn't Golden have made more sense to have someone different on your team, like the deep ball threat, to go back and get the D-Jacks of the group? Like, just to have someone who can go out there and run and deep route. Egbuka's great. I really do like him. I do believe in everything that I said. And I love that you went and got your fire. I was like, shouldn't you take one in solidarity? And you were so mad.
Dude,
hey man, this happens every year.
This literally is so confusing to me. And like, as a pseudo Bucks fan, like, I'm not gonna say I'm a huge fan, don't know the history of the team. But just like watching like Kansas City beat their defense in overtime because like they cannot stop anything at all, to not go get anything on defense is just so confusing. All right, let's bring in Axton. Sorry, we're a little bit heated over that last pick. Axton, instant reaction. Well, the last one we just saw on screen was Emeka Egbuka to the Buccaneers. Do you have any way of making sense of this? Let's just get you in right away. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring you in hot, but it's so confusing to me.
Instant reaction to me is the why. That doesn't make any sense because they drafted McMillan last year and he was great. So why would you need another high-end wide receiver in this draft unless you had intentions of trading somebody? I mean, to me, that might lead more to like trade potential.
Maybe injury insurance is the only thing I can think. Maybe injury insurance because Chris Godwin went down, but the offense was still cooking. So I don't know.
Yeah, even with Jalen McMillan coming in, you really wouldn't. You could get a wide receiver in the second or third round to come in a break glass in case of emergency kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. I had higher hopes for Egbuka. You know, he's one that everybody kind of touted as having the most solid floor in this class, and now he's going to go to a team that's going to just.
It's a train wreck in my opinion, just a little bit.
You can't piss away that kind of value, man, or that. Well, kind of player.
We were talking. I was just mentioning that, like, when Bucks played Kansas City, is a perfect example of like they went overtime and Mahomes just couldn't do anything. Like Mahomes just did anything he wanted against the defense. The defense couldn't do anything to stop Mahomes. So it's just like, how do you watch games like that? The defense is horrible, and then you just don't even go to defense. Like, whatever. Okay. Weird.
Axton, I just want to welcome you in. Glad that you could see my shrine behind me. It was a great time last Super Bowl that we were a part of. Did not know you were.
Oh yeah, rub it in.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have rolled out the red carpet like that. Hey man, we deserved it.
You did. You guys were the team. That's for sure.
No, honestly, I've always been a Chiefs. What'd you say, Joe?
Who do you want the Chiefs to take?
Who do
I want the Chiefs to take? Man, I'm not entirely sure. Let's see. I would like to see a Travis Kelce successor. Something. I mean, I know we have no Gray, but I mean, we're not really utilizing him in a way that would suggest that he's going to be the follow-up guy.
Just to interrupt just for a second, you can continue after. To quote Billy, we need a regular season tight end for the Chiefs.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we mocked Colson Love.
They had the postseason tight end. They need a regular season one. Yeah.
Who's a tight end 3 in this class?
What's his face?
Probably Fannin.
Fannin. That's who I was
Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor is a possibility.
Arroyo. They got
none of them. I would take in the first round.
I like Arroyo, not in the first.
But. Yeah, Fannin was the main third. Yeah, no, back to the Bucks, dude. I honestly I was making the case for Egbuka, but this was the one place I didn't want him to go. Like I was hoping for a wide receiver 2 spot immediately, or like Carolina Panthers would have been great, like for that number 2 spot. But I do love Egbuka, and I do think he finds himself a role sooner rather than later. I don't know whether it's next year or at this point or post injury. Like if there isn't. It's kind of cool for future proofing a team. Like I would love to have 4 wide receivers on the Eagles. Like with AJ Brown or Devontae going down, I feel way less confident whenever the Eagles roll out, some rookies or Quez Watkins or whoever else we have thrown out there. So,
man, I cannot believe that just happened.
Do they try to move Evans or Godwin?
I think Evans, because they just signed Godwin.
Yeah,
but Evans is like the guy. Like that is the Buccaneer for life. They can't do that to him.
They'd still have to pick up $29 million this year if they did. So
I just feel like they would restructure rather than replace. That's the replace part seems extreme. I don't know, man. That is bizarre. That was a bizarre one.
It's good though. We need a bizarre one, and I'm glad it was.
We really did. I hate that it had to be that one because we're trying to run a fantasy football show around here, and so far 0 of the offensive spots other than Genty has made
So where do we
sense.
put Egbuka at this point? Like where were we talked about this with?
Not in the first.
Yeah.
No way you take him in the first round of a dynasty draft right now.
Take him in the first because if you're
late, maybe
just won, or if you finished, second, third, you have the 10th through 12th pick. It's perfect to put him on your roster and have the guy next year because Evans isn't playing next year.
If you can afford to be patient, I think that's the most, that's the best ideal situation to take Egbuka in the first. Like if you're either rebuilding or you've got a lot of depth.
All right, Josh, are you at least caught up?
What are you doing, Broncos? And I hope Bomber's still in here. I hope Bomber's still in here.
He just did his own fireball shot, and then he also said that the NFC South loves soft-handed wide receivers.
Dude, what's it like having an early pick in dynasty leagues, he says. This man.
I don't know. I've only had to trade up to get my picks in the early first round. But
I'm sorry.
All right, so Jahdae Barron goes to the Broncos.
What is so okay? The Broncos D is good, and you made it better, sure, but like you already have one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and you're gonna go out there and draft another good corner. Like, I hate it. I hate it for the Broncos. You have no running backs on your roster. Yes, there are several in this draft, and yes, you can get one in the second round, or yes, you can figure out something later. Why not go after Hampton? Why not go after a wide receiver?
Man, like why invest if there's going to be a guy late? I don't.
Yeah, sure, a guy, not the guy.
What I would imagine is that maybe they're just looking for more of a lockdown corner. Riley Moss was probably one of the more targeted cornerbacks in the league last year. So I mean, they had a solid D, but
was he that? Was he bad enough to where we needed to go get a first round?
No, maybe not quite like that. That would be the only thing that would make sense.
We've entered the twilight zone. We're there. Like the Bucks made a pick that they didn't really need to make a pick.
Will
need to make that pick.
Board, by the way, Hairston, who was like a fringe first rounder.
It's not a bad pick. It's just, did they need a cornerback?
Did they need a cornerback? Third round,
no. It's just like you didn't need that. Why go get it? It doesn't make sense.
So, we can circle on this for a second, but I do want to get into the Steelers who are on the clock, who have this might be the last chance Shador has of going in the first round.
100%. This is unless there's a trade up later, but this is pretty much it. This is Jackson Dart.
Dude, this is. I don't even think it's okay. Time out. I'm gonna bet that it's not a quarterback. I'm gonna do a.
If it's Jackson Dart, Joe, I will take a shot in solidarity with you for
the way this draft has been unfolding. And Axton, you joined at a great time because this is the weirdest part of the draft. Like
literally, Axton joined and suddenly the draft has gone bizarre. I don't know what in the hell's happening. Like literally, the last 2 picks have been like weird. I'm just like, well, who are you talking to? But whatever.
Bomber
Theoretically,
says, you better watch
Aaron-
with that Riley slander. Riley Moss is the GOAT. I don't know about the GOAT.
Not for
but
long.
Apparently,
It was good for
nobody.
IDP because he was always chasing the person with the ball.
Yeah, he was great in fantasy. Oh, we got.
I mean, to be fair, I used a lot. I used Riley Moss in a lot of cornerback specific leagues, so
No,
can't really say anything.
KCDBs are kind of wishy-washy in fantasy.
Well, the good news is Will Johnson and Hairston are just sitting there, ripe for the picking. So the Chiefs could go and get themselves a corner if they needed to. But yeah, no, dude, this just to me makes no sense. So I still think that Sutton's on his way out, and yes, they could go get a wide receiver in the second round. It could be Burden, it could be whoever. But I do just want to say that I just saw Bomber's comment. I do just want to say that the Broncos just offensively makes the most sense. You have Cortland Sutton, Mims, who I love, but I don't fully believe in. Like, I would love to see him be a wide receiver too, but like, let's see it first. And then you have Vele, who had 1-2 good games. Like, you need a wide receiver.
37-year-old rookie. Yeah, it's great.
It's true.
I mean, theoretically, wouldn't Barron start in McMillan's spot? Bomber, you might know.
What is this? This is just this draft. This isn't real anymore.
Yeah, we're off the rails. And I love this. I love this. You know, it's kind of like what timeline, you know, you're living in one timeline and then something happens and there's like a branch off. That's where we are right now. We've branched off because I love this. I love this. This is
soon we're going to be
weird.
visited by the people who say you're not supposed to visit other timelines, and we'll be like, dude, I didn't know I was doing that.
Right? Who knew? Who knew that we were headed there? It's fun. Well, this makes the Chargers pick interesting, at least. Yeah, sorry, Joe. Sorry, Joe. You have to take a shot there because they did not take one at. So yeah, Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle from Oregon, goes at pick 21. Their defense was already really good, and the defense gets a little bit better because Derek Harmon is a fantastic player. I don't necessarily know if that's who they needed to pick, but then again, we are in the twilight zone right now. So
just speaking of who they needed to pick, we had Derek Harmon in one of our mock drafts, and that was our mock draft 3.0. Other than that, he did not go. So
where did we have him in that one?
The third one, and it was to the Ravens at 27. So not far off.
Okay. I don't know what to make of this. Axton, are you a big fan of Derek Harmon?
Not too much on the rookies, honestly. I know about the first couple of rounds for fantasy as it's just plastered everywhere. But no, I haven't. I really don't have quite the time to get into much college football watching, unfortunately. I wish I did.
Oh, fair enough.
Hey, don't worry, me neither, Axton, but I know that this pick shouldn't have happened.
No, I mean,
you have your quarterbacks. Do they have Carson Wentz now? I think they do, and they have what's his face, Mason Rudolph as your starting quarterbacks, and you're just going to rock it to the second round and hope that you get yourself some Jackson Dart. Which, man, these trade ups, dude. These Giants, the Steelers, the Jets, the Raiders, the Browns. Like, people are got to be calling up right now, right? Saints. Hey, what you got on 27? Because we have two quarterbacks that can go in the first round, and I can get them for relatively free for trading up 8-9 picks, or maybe they just get them in the second round at this point. But
the Steelers don't even have a second round pick, so you would think that doesn't make. I mean, I could imagine maybe they're trying to find a successor for Cam Hayward, but is that really a priority at this point?
Apparently, it was.
Is 35 and got
not
kind of banged up a couple of times last year.
It was not. It was not a
sense
priority.
To get someone, and Harmon's good, but
this offense is dog water with two wide receivers who shouldn't be on this team anymore. And Metcalf has got to be
Mason
spitting.
Rudolph going to do with Pickens and DK Metcalf? Explain this.
I mean, it's true.
And there's rumors of Pickens being traded.
A toddler. I just don't understand the concept here.
I don't dislike Mason Rudolph as a backup quarterback or as my guy got injured in preseason. We have no choice to start him. But like to roll out with Mason Rudolph or whoever you're going to draft in the second or third round, you know, like Axton said, you don't even have a second round. Who you getting? Milroe in the third, and you're going to roll him out? Like,
right. Well, I mean, Aaron Rodgers just might as well get all of the
maybe this was
money he wants, right?
Yeah, maybe this wasn't Aaron Rodgers. Hey, man, we won't draft one in the first round, but you have to come here. Like, maybe we'll get the news finally. Like, I hope so, because, man, I like the Steelers, but y'all are not looking healthy.
Would they look to trade Pickens and maybe move up into the late or the early second to pick Jackson Dart or Sanders?
I did hear that Pickens is worth a second rounder, apparently. So, hypothetically, I don't know.
Maybe that's the idea.
I mean, you can't do anything besides Sanders and Dart for starting this year. And honestly, I don't think you want to start either one of them. Maybe Shedeur right away. Like, I'd prefer someone ahead of them. And, Shedeur's not out there learning from Mason Rudolph. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This draft is taking a turn.
It is taking a weird turn, to be honest.
I was hoping I would lose that fireball bet to bring my.
We thought that maybe there was going to be 4 quarterbacks taken in this first round because, like, Dart would end up somehow sneaking in there. And then, like, Jalen Milroe gets invited to the draft. Sorry, buddy. I hope you're there for day 2, if even that happens at this rate. But, like, I thought for sure that's where we were headed, and we're not. And that's interesting.
Still needs a quarterback. They could.
I mean, I know there's no love for love.
Probably still needs a quarterback.
Chargers is still ticking.
How many of these teams can afford to trade back and gain assets as opposed to taking a late first round?
The bottom 6.
I think the Ravens and the Eagles for sure can do it.
The bottom 6.
I listened to Matthew Berry's podcast, and they were saying on there that pretty much everybody in the bottom half of or like the last 10 picks of the draft is open to trade offers. So
I'd say the bottom 6, honestly. I think the Rams need way more.
Well, I'd see you say that. I feel like the Bills could use a first round pick. I know they don't love it because they love trading down and then taking a wide receiver they don't want to use. But, like, I think they could use one. The Commanders definitely, like, they're kind of – I'm not going to say they're frauds. They're not frauds. But their team was built on a house of cards. It felt like they just happened to make it to the NFC Championship. But, like, they could use something. But Ravens, Lions, Chiefs, Eagles, all could possibly trade down.
I will say this is shaping up really well for the Eagles because if Mike Green's still on the board and Easy's still on the board and Scourton and Pierce, I mean – they're getting their edge rusher that they want.
There's going to be some talent that doesn't make it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, just doesn't get drafted in the first round, which is
we always knew that.
Yeah. We just didn't know who it was going to be.
What was the bet on the running backs being drafted? Because at this point, do you think even Hampton makes it?
There's no way. Unless it's the Chargers right here. Like, unless it's them, I don't see a running back going in the first, which is, again, weird.
Commanders. I still think the Commanders go for a running back.
Yeah.
Or Golden.
Yeah.
I go offense for sure. And it's like offensive weapon, like dynasty offense.
Someone's got to take Will Johnson. But the Chargers need an edge. I don't know. It's crazy.
Don't know what to make of it.
Crazy.
Man, Chargers eating all this time on the clock.
Yeah, man, it's tough with all these solid.
Pick's not even in yet.
Seconds.
What do we feel like the Browns are going to be up to in round 2 with the 1st and 4th picks?
Got to be a quarterback. They got to get a quarterback. Well, at this rate, now you can maybe even get Shedeur at the beginning of the first or second round. So, yeah.
Dude, if they go Shedeur and Hampton, like I'm just saying Hampton's still on the board at the moment. If they go Shedeur and Hampton, they won the draft.
That'd be
or even Travion.
Bears also have multiple second rounders within the first 10.
Yeah, but don't worry, they'll fuck that up. Sorry, Joe.
We'll trade our 26 first for like a 4th round pick, dude. We'll be like, oh shit, there's a kicker there? Hell yeah.
How did the Chargers eat up every second of that? Like, I'm sorry, there's been some fast picks in this draft, but
picks in
the
now.
Chargers didn't know. Oh yeah, for sure. But like, how did they eat up every second? Because I swear it went down to 15 seconds before the pick.
Make everybody sweat it out.
Honestly.
They're that fantasy manager that puts this pick is out of OTB and waits till the last minute on an 8-hour draft to field every trade offer possible.
So Joe, by the
102.
Oh well, wow, Joe, you were fucking telepathic. I was literally gonna say, Joe, how does it feel to have the 102 right now? Because right now that shit is dead, dead.
It's not dead.
It's dead. Right in the current spot, it's
Dude,
Genty
Billy,
at 1,
I thought
and
we
then
weren't doing spoilers.
what? Oh, I don't know who it is yet.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens.
Sorry, I assumed it was Hampton, and that you were saying it's dead because it's behind Najee.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not even been spoiled yet. Who their Chargers are picking?
I'm sure it's been spoiled on Twitter if you really looked hard enough.
Okay, well, I haven't looked hard enough, but at the current moment that I don't know, the 102 seems dead, man. I feel for you.
Never had more value.
No, because it doesn't matter if Hampton gets drafted in the first round. It's actually better if he gets drafted in the second round. Because if you get drafted in these last 8 picks, 9 picks, whatever's left, you're fucked. Like there's only a couple backfields where you're going to have an immediate impact. I mean, you're Aaron Jones, the Vikings successor, Chargers.
About to look like an asshole.
Deal.
This is a fun one.
I'm about to look like an asshole.
Is it Hampton?
No value, huh?
And I'm not even upset if it is Hampton. It just sucks for fantasy. And they did kill Isaiah Spiller, so it really just gives me some rough.
Huh. Interesting. All right, Joe. Well, from literally 1 minute to the next, how does it feel to have the 102 in this draft?
Man, it feels great, dude. It feels great. Never has there been more value on this pick until.
That's crazy. I literally had not seen it when I was saying that. Like, I know that it seems like I was fucking around. I had really not seen it yet.
Travis Hunter's the pick. I'm just right. I don't know.
Especially in IDP.
I mean, yeah, the IDP draft really does make it interesting.
If I can draft a DB getting wide receiver numbers in the first, that's 101 worthy, in my opinion. You can make a case for that easy. Getting 15, 20 points a game out of a defensive back.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is the real conundrum here. So, on one hand, you have Amari and Hampton. On this other hand, you have Najee Harris. Who wins this tug of war? Because it doesn't feel like any fantasy manager is going to win.
Wasn't Najee pick 22 also?
Something like that, yeah.
2 first-round running backs. I don't know. It's Amarion Hampton, and Najee is your fill-in guy, I guess.
I mean, for fantasy, you generally don't want to fade first-round running backs, but you're going to have to be patient with Hampton because I don't know, are we going to get like Vietnam flashbacks to last season where they were going run heavy to start the season? Or, that's kind of what it seems like to me, but they've said, everything we're seeing kind of leads me to believe, or has led us to believe, that they want to pass more. They want to let Justin Herbert do his thing and kind of let it fly more, where he was succeeding better towards the back half of the season. But that's not what this pick is telling us.
He's good at receiving the ball. I mean, I don't know. I've seen like DeMarco Murray, Josh Jacob comps for him. I see Matt Forte when I look at Hampton. So we saw what Matt Forte did in Chicago. He could be the perfect dump off for Herbert. But, I mean, we saw Najee have exceptional hands with the Steelers, too. So,
yeah.
Is it literally just going to be a 50-50 and watch out each week or what? This is crazy. But he is a first-rounder.
I mean, I don't know why this is happening. So
they're bringing back J.K. Dobbins, right? That would just completely. No, if Arthur Smith was on this team, that would for sure be the thing that's happening. But I don't see how this is good for Najee, man. I don't think you draft Najee. Like, I don't think you can.
If you sold Najee after the signing to the Chargers,
you won.
You won that, yeah.
You won.
You did great.
And
whatever.
I feel bad with the Najee Harris managers that are left holding the bag because this sucks.
Yeah, it feels like he's definitely going to get. There's going to be like a split workload. 10,
Joe,
15
you should have
touches a
traded
game
him to
for
me.
both of
I
them.
tried so hard to get him from you. Number one, my apologies. Billy, you suck. I know you spoiled that. You had that shit
I
on
didn't.
Twitter.
I promise on
You had
everything
that
in the
on
world.
Twitter.
I promise on everything I had not seen that until after we had already
Don't
talked
believe
about
you.
it.
Axton,
And then I was like, damn.
Secondly, Billy, you're done. Axton, you ruined the show. I don't know what you did. You put in some cursed Patrick Mahomes magic on this show.
This has
and all
gone
these picks are
bizarre.
stupid. No, I'm just kidding. But no, honestly, like the Marion Hampton pick just kills everything Najee, and I hate it. I don't have Najee in anything important, but I just hate to see it for Najee because I really do believe in him. And to see Marion Hampton go there, who is not even his successor, but like clear successor. Like it's not even like, oh, he could be one day. It's not like a Bucky Irving where you had.
Well, it's not even going to be a year though. Like that's the craziest thing that I'm seeing about this is that like we thought Najee would have a year and then they would bring someone else in and then maybe we'd see them in some kind of secondary role that would maybe
like
lead to something down the line.
Or
yeah, exactly. But literally, like if Harbaugh went above all these other running backs to get him to play right now, that means that Najee is not going to be here for the long haul. Feels like.
Can you imagine the beating that the defense is going to take having to stop Najee and Hampton?
Yeah, that's going to be a nightmare for defenses, no doubt.
I mean,
ice pass for the rest of the week after that.
Yeah, that offense is going to be fun. And honestly, I love it for the Chargers. Love it for regular football. Hate it for fantasy football. Hampton was the 102. I don't even have the 102 anywhere, but I was hoping to get it, for fun.
It's free.
Not anymore.
I'll just give it to you now.
You know what?
Najee truthers had been dragged through the mud, just hoping Jaylen Warren would go away and that he'd just completely bust out and they get a glimmer of hope and then just bam.
Yeah, shit. He thought Jaylen Warren was bad, man. He's got to deal with Omarion Hampton now. Like, I mean, North Carolina running backs haven't been great. That's the good thing he's got going for him. But
Michael Carter is coming, dude. Just watch.
I'd love to see it, man. Love to see Devontae too.
He's gonna be a third contract breakout, but it'll be great.
Love that. All right, well, we have
good old Gerald's team.
We have Johnny waiting in here. Let's bring him in. I don't know how this is about to go because I don't know what the screen looks like with 5 people.
You guys got small. You guys got small.
Okay, I had no clue what that was going to look like.
It doesn't feel right being the top, but here we are.
What's up, Johnny?
All right, Johnny, you're muted.
No, I can't hear you.
Somehow you're muted.
Got some more room, so I just wanted to show
off
there
you go.
a little bit more.
Not muted.
What's up?
Well, we got a Chiefs fan here, a little Eagle.
As a Steelers fan, Johnny, how are you feeling about them not getting you a quarterback and you having to play with Mason Rudolph, apparently?
Or, if we want to be honest, running back, because you all need that too.
You know what? Yeah, I don't watch a lot of college ball, so I don't know these guys specifically. But I do think the pick is due to Cam Hayward. We do think this is going to be a send-off year. So I guess it's a replacement of that. I'm fine with it. I'd rather get a beast if he's a good player, get him shored up for the future. You know what I mean? We're not going to win a Super Bowl with Mason Rudolph. We're not going to win a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. So to me, maybe throw the year a little bit, see how they bounce back. But I've always said this, and I wasn't a Kenny Pickett guy. To me, when I picked him, it was a good story. But it took him 4 or 5 years to get good at Pitt. And to me, I didn't think it was going to work out, so I didn't really like that one. But I do think the Steelers, they kind of need to resurrect a new Big Ben. Just they think outside the box, call it for better or for worse, Mike Tomlin. But back in the day with the franchise, the people are still there. The Rooney family still has major say in these picks. So to me, I don't really disagree with the pick. I think that pick somebody late, 5th, 6th round. Don't even go Dart next round. Find your guy later if there is one. If not, stack the team for next year.
Johnny, with all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about? You cannot roll Mason Rudolph out there.
Why not?
I'm sorry, with Skylar Thompson as the backup, like what happens if it goes wrong? Like y'all don't even have Daniel Jones as a backup. Like I'd feel more confident if we had Daniel Jones and Mason Rudolph out there.
They're not going to do damage with Mason Rudolph. He's a 1 year stopgap if they don't find anybody else.
Stopgap. You said you mentioned Kenny Pickett. You didn't like him. You literally have Kenny Pickett's like brother on the team. That is Mason Rudolph. Like it's fun and it
got
could
Lenny
be fun.
Pickett on your team, dude.
Yeah,
that's irrelevant.
I'm worried about Tomlin, dude. They have to sign Rodgers, figure out so they can blame him halfway through the season, and Tomlin can keep his damn
You need a
job.
scapegoat. Yeah.
This means Rodgers is signing. Like it has to, right? Like they had to have said, "Do not draft Jackson Dart or Shador, or whoever's there. If you draft a quarterback, I'm out." Like, and they're basically saying, "Rodgers, come on. We have a team. We have 2 wide receivers for you. We have a fun room. We have Freiermuth. We got half a running back. Like we're trying. We can do something in the second round. Like come to the team."
Back. They'll pick someone up tomorrow, running back wise. No doubt about that.
Oh, 100%.
Quinshon Judkins is going to look good in black and gold.
Judkins is actually my sleeper for the running backs. And I say sleeper isn't sleeper in the first round. Sleeper in the first round. I think everyone was going to go after Hampton on the Broncos or Steelers on a team that actually had the lead. And I was thinking Judkins going to lesser of the teams would have helped.
I assumed Judkins was going to be a Bear, but we'll probably take Mason Taylor. So
another tight end.
yeah.
That'd be funny.
7 tight ends on the field at once.
I hate when they try to like talk before the pick. Like that's my problem.
Home
Like
team, man.
It is the home team. They have to give him a second.
They had cheese curds get wheeled out for everybody.
I do love some cheese.
I love cheese.
By the
curds.
way, if you're ever
Honestly, sadly,
Milwaukee,
thoroughly
they have
enjoyed
a cheese
visiting.
castle that you can go to. It's great.
I thoroughly enjoyed visiting Milwaukee, which is sad. Hated it.
All right, we have truly entered the fucking Twilight Zone.
Hey, a first round wide receiver?
What was the most surprising pick you guys think you've seen so far?
Anything that's happened after the Steelers, like
Since I've been
literally,
here.
what the hell is happening?
just before
Literally,
I got here.
Axton joined, and this has gone wild to me.
Off the rails.
First of all, the Bucks taking Emeka Egbuka makes no sense at all. Not a wide receiver. They didn't need a wide receiver. Didn't need one. They went and got one. They didn't need one. They needed defense. They didn't do it. And then the Broncos take Jahdae Barron. Don't really think they needed another quarterback, but they did that. So
All
that's
right,
fun for them.
time out. You're saying that this is off the rails, but we had Golden going to the Cowboys. Like we had him off the board at 12, if not well before then, within this 13 to 18, 19 range. Him going to the Packers at 23 is kind of a steal, dog. Like, and yes, the Packers waste wide receiver 2s. I'm not.
Have a good night, Bomber.
That. See you, Bomber.
Bye,
Love you,
Bomb.
man. Thanks for tuning in. Forgot they're an hour ahead over there. That is fair. But dude,
Yeah.
Golden making it this far, going to the Packers and being different than the other 3 to 4 wide receivers they have is kind of
All right. A, he's not that much better than the wide receivers they already have on the roster. I'm sorry to say. 2,
I never said better.
they didn't take a wide receiver in the first round for what, 20 years, and now they do it now.
Yeah, fair.
Vikings aren't wasting any time.
Like
The draft's in Green Bay. You're right. They already got their pick in. They said, "You got Matthew Golden. We got Luther Burden. What up?" I'm just kidding. They're not going to do that. I'm just
that'd
thinking
be
for
terrible.
fantasy sake.
That'd be the perfect follow up to what's happened so far.
Dude, Axton, if the next pick's gone, I'm kicking you off for sure. Because if you're here when the Eagles pick, and like it's fucked up like that.
Oh god. And then everything will start happening like perfect.
All right, so in our final mock draft, we had Travion going to Washington. Is that still possible? What do y'all think about that? Axton?
I mean, it's possible, obviously,
Really, I didn't
but
ask you.
I don't know. Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I'm on the fence there. I feel like Brian Robinson is more than capable enough, and especially, do they still have Eckler? Is
You notice how
he
you
on
didn't say
contract?
good? You notice how you didn't say good? You said mostly capable.
Okay, fair enough. That so to me, yeah, I guess they could bring in somebody to compete back there, but Yeah, I mean, I guess you might as well if you're already vamping up this offense and you're kind of
Dude,
looking to
Eckler
go ahead
threw
and
away their
no
chance
sense
at
in
a.
going with what you got when you've kind of seen it already. He's injury prone, and now Austin Eckler's getting old. So, I mean, it makes sense. So it's just confusing enough for fantasy. You really probably don't.
I mean, we're
necessarily
talking
want-
anything can happen, Axon. You're here. You've seen the last.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
6 picks.
wild cards in
Johnny, what do you got? What do you got on this pick?
Minnesota. Where are they going?
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna say something on the defensive side here. I think so.
Will Johnson.
I was gonna say we have one corner off the board. In our last mock, we had Siobhan Revel going here as I think the third corner off the board. So
I think it's a good time for a corner.
actually, I think no, we had
They
Siobhan
have to
Revel
get a
jumping
corner.
Will Johnson, or was Will Johnson gone?
No, we had Will Johnson going to
No,
15
15
Falcons. Yeah.
Falcons. That's right. Okay, so this
By
is
the way,
second
Josh,
corner.
Ian Rappaport says Howie Roseman is working the phones, trying to trade up
Dude,
right
you
now.
know, I'm actually sad that it took us to the 24th pick to start working the phones, but at the same time, I understand it's Howie. Don't question it. I was just telling my buddy who's an Eagles fan, I was like, it's so fun to go to an NFL draft as an Eagles fan because I have no idea what's going to happen. We're either going to pick at 32, trade it away. We might trade up. We might make a game day trade and get AJ Brown, or draft day trade and get AJ Brown. I mean, it is just fun to watch.
Honestly, the Eagles are in a position right now where trade out and stack up future picks. Like, you're pretty deep and solid all the way around.
Dude, the 3
Why
years the
wait
Eagles
on
just
something
kept
that's
trading
like-
back and having 2 first-round picks was so fun because I was like, I'm glad. Don't make the picks. I want you to be
Many
sure of
picks,
them.
like in 26 and 27 combined.
But
It's something crazy.
buy into the 2027 class, and then ride this out. By the time you get to 2027, you're coming off of 2 probably competitive playoff appearances, and then bam, you get 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, and not to mention the Eagles have 4 or 5 comp picks coming to them next year. And so after all, Milton Williams and all these other guys going, we all got comp picks.
Schefter just said the Giants are trading back up into the first round.
I just assumed. I wish our first guest would have just stayed too, but I understand he has PT or whatever in the morning. So
No, I've probably got to go here soon too. I got
Oh,
a.
actually, we were supposed to kick you off, but I felt bad because I said we were. gonna kick
Texans
you
are
off.
trading 25 to the Giants.
Axton, will you make it through the Vikings pick? Because I'd love to see them pick something stupid.
Yeah, I got you. Oh
And
wait,
we got Houston coming up. And I
Dude,
don't know
this
what
is so
the fuck them
confusing.
to-
So Ian Rappaport says the Rams are trading and the Giants are on the clock, but the My Sports Report guy says that the Texans are trading 25 to the Giants. Who knows which one's correct at this point? The Giants are definitely trading up. I have no clue who.
Thank you for staying, Axton.
yeah, I was gonna say it didn't go left.
Who the
Didn't
fuck
we
is
just get
that?
Kelly and Fries on this line, and they got wow. Okay.
I don't care. This is hilarious. The Viking. I mean, sure, boost the offensive line. Never a bad move, but I just feel like there's some talent out there that you can't pass up right now. And
They have a
All these edge
47-year-old Harrison Smith and what? Byron Murphy signed on the back end. That's it. Wow.
dude, I bet Howie's so pissed he has the 32nd pick this year. He's like, y'all had to win this year. Like, we could have made so many moves by now. Ooh, Axton, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of love you being here because at first we were like, what do we even talk about? It's Will Campbell to the Patriots, like obviously.
Now everything just happens. We got all kinds of subject matter.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Giants have traded pick 34, a third rounder this year, and a third rounder looks like next year.
Okay.
Where are they going? They're on the clock.
To who? To who, Billy?
To the
They're on
Texans. It's
Okay.
officially the Texans, even though even Field Yates is saying the Rams, but Adam Schefter says the Texans. Who knows who's trading this pick? This is weird.
NFL.com
Brian
has New York
says
on the clock.
The Giants are on the clock.
Okay, so it has to be the Texans. I don't know why everybody's saying the Rams. Doesn't make any sense.
Schefter's talking about it on the screen right now.
Did the Giants trade up and then trade up again?
25. They got the Texans.
That'd be funny, but no.
No, the Rams need their pick, dude. I'm glad.
It's got to
the
be a
Rams need their pick.
quarterback, right? Like, got to be a quarterback.
I mean,
It's got to
be
Shedeur.
Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston signing that told me that's who they plan to go in the season with.
That's true.
Talk about a quarterback, and it makes sense. You're kind of building a young team, but I don't know why you'd sign 2 aging vets.
I love that they showed Jackson Dart on the screen. That is great.
Oh,
not that it's him. I don't know who it is. I know Josh is already thinking it.
No, I'm actually thinking of who are the Eagles going to get. There's so many good players out there.
I don't know what it is either.
I think the Eagles are getting Mike Green, and we got a Green to the Eagle. That's going to be great. I do. There's a lot of teams that could take him ahead of him. Or James Pierce. I'd take Pierce, man. I mean, we need an edge rusher.
I'll tell you what, going back to that Minnesota pick, I do like it. Because they bring in Aaron Jones there. I'm sorry, not Aaron Jones, but Jordan Mason with Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
They're going to run the ball heavy, right? I mean, they also they're set at wide receiver. They're set with Hawkinson. So it's like their offense is great. And then also you got J.J. McCarthy. You want to maybe protect him a little bit more, shore up that line. So I think it's a pretty nice pick there for them. I mean, I'd be interested to see what that does in terms of McCarthy's sake for fantasy and the whole offense is in general. So, but yeah, like Joe said, they have Byron Murphy, Josh Metellus, who was a decent player, kind of fell off, dipped a little bit last year, especially in fantasy, right? But I thought defensive back was going to be especially cornerback was going to be the pick of choice. But now that they picked guard, I said, wow, it kind of makes sense.
All right, so
It's a boring pick, but it's a good pick.
Yeah,
I'm going to hijack this conversation for a second because we have the Giants who just traded up, and we haven't talked about what's happening right now. So they signed Russell, they signed J-Mo. Are they going for Shedeur? I mean, that's what we assume, right? Like everyone assumes that.
It's a quarterback for sure. I mean,
but is it Dart or is it Shedeur? I feel like the conversation needs to be had.
Billy, like who do you think it is? A lot of time with the Giants.
I'd say it should be Shedeur, but
Shedeur?
I mean,
I know who it is, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm keeping a straight face.
Unpredictable.
Don't look it up. God,
my gut instinct is Dart would be better there. I don't see Shedeur Sanders being quality.
It's definitely going to be Shedeur, 100%.
I don't think they take a quarterback there.
They have to. They just traded back up to the first round, and Shedeur slipped this far, and they didn't envision it, and they're like, we have to take the shot on it. It's Shedeur. I don't know. I do not know. I haven't seen it on the screen yet. I was hoping someone would make the case for Dart, but everyone probably already knows at this point.
I think Dart has a better ceiling, but probably going to be Shedeur.
I don't know. It seemed like it was just a couple of months ago we were talking about Shedeur Sanders up in the same breath as Cam Ward, it seems like. And now he's fallen down to where everyone's like, oh.
I never understood this part of the draft process because we talk about top 5 picks as quarterbacks, and then all of a sudden it doesn't happen. And then Shedeur slips to 20, and I think this is a fucking steal if that is what the Giants are doing.
I agree.
And a couple third-rounders to move up.
I think it's going to play out the same in fantasy, too, where everyone's just trash-talk Shedeur, but in all honesty, from what I gather, that he's the real deal. It might take a little bit of time, but if he steps into a solid role where he's playing full snaps and he's getting the starting gig, I mean...
With Malik Neighbors and others
he's gonna. Could you imagine the kind of targets and pass completion percentage he's gonna have with like a Malik Neighbors and then Wan'Dale Robinson?
I mean, he goes from one superstar receiver to throw to another. I mean, what better setup can you get?
The Falcons just traded back up into the first round, by the way.
Oh,
they traded with the Rams.
Wow. Billy, how do you know the pick already? I haven't even seen it yet.
Now we're getting spicy.
I hate that you can't stay off Twitter and you can't just enjoy the draft.
I'm enjoying the draft. What are you talking about? What did I do?
You're like a girlfriend who can't stay off Instagram. Like, just calm down.
Jesus.
I didn't do anything. I'm just talking about trades.
I'm talking about the pick, man. I still don't even have it, and you literally had it for like 6 minutes. And Axton's got it because Axton couldn't help himself. He's like
but I'm not.
It's on. I mean, it's on my screen right now. I see it.
Was that leading? What would you imagine the pick was by that?
I'm like 10 seconds behind. Let's calm down. Let's all chill. Muting all of y'all.
No, he's walking out. He's walking out.
Oh, the anticipation's killing me.
Sorry, my computer's a toaster, as Billy called it.
I called it like a tablet stone.
They're so dumb.
So the Giants drafted Jackson Dart. Now, what are they going to do? I guess they're just going to develop him. I guess they're just going to sit him on the bench and be like, this is our guy of the future. And
Well, you got the best motivational speaker in the league. And then,
yeah,
you got Russell Wilson knows a thing or two. He's been to he's been to playoff appearances.
Bro.
I think he just
Okay, how
got
do
us right now.
Oh man, the Giants, dude. Like honestly, I wanted Shador in the NFC East. It could have been fun. Like it was a squad with Jaden Daniels, Jalen Hurts, and trash Cowboys quarterbacks that they keep replacing over and over again.
Did Jackson Dart have that party in a church?
Does seem like it.
What is that place?
it does look like a cathedral or something.
It was the only place in his hometown that had enough room for his friends and family.
It is Ole Miss.
God damn.
Oh,
The
pick is in.
I can't believe it. So the Falcons traded up for this next pick?
I swear to God, if the Falcons take Shadur Sanders, I'm going to know what to do with myself.
Dude,
I don't know what it is. I swear to God, I don't know what it is.
And honestly, like, whatever, man. Him and Penix can fight it out, man, for all I say.
So the Falcons traded pick 46, 242, and their 2026 first round pick. Holy shit!
It's got to be.
And the Rams traded 26 and 101.
It's got to be
just
defensive.
the Rams smart trade back by the Rams.
Bro, I swear to God, if you're trading a first round pick in next year's draft, not that it's going to be a super great draft, but like
it's gotta be Shador. You're not trading a first round.
Oh, but why would you take Penix at 7 if you're going to do that?
Because
what
the Falcons, Okay, time out. Let's roll back the last 4 drafts for the Falcons.
Just let it work.
We got Penix in the first round last year. The year before we got Bijan. The year before that we got London. The year before that we got Pitts. Like all 4 offensive weapons. Penix were like, that's why Pitts hasn't been doing it, is because Penix isn't it. Penix has played fucking 3 games, and you're gonna go draft Shador? Like it's happening. You don't trade a 2026 first rounder.
I cannot believe they gave up a next year's first round pick for a 2020 or 26th pick this year.
Yeah, played in Atlanta, right?
What are we doing? Yeah, he did. It cannot be Shador. I swear to God.
There's no way.
Dude, it's 100% that. Please get off your phone, Billy. I want you to experience this with us.
I'm experiencing it with you. I don't know who it is.
I don't believe you. I can't help if you're going to look up spoilers to the show before we watch it. You know what I mean?
I'm not. Who's spoiled? I don't know what it is. I'll tell you this: if it's Shador Sanders, I'm going to be pissed.
All right, fireball bet that it's Shador Sanders right now.
It's not Shador Sanders. I refuse.
Okay,
I mean, I got a whole bottle sitting right here. All right, fireball.
I got
that. It's
Crown Apple. I hope that'll do.
That'll do. Even though Crown Apple, underrated beverage.
Fireball's honestly an underrated beverage. People hate on Fireball all the time. Joe always got like full ass whiskey.
It's really the hangovers that are associated with Fireball. That's the biggest issue with Fireball.
Joe, what do you think is going to happen? You always weigh in. You want to get on this Fireball bet? You want Shador or I'm sorry, whatever whiskey bet?
Mike Green.
Okay. You in?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, I think this is a good point for me to leave.
Axton's like, dude, I'm not making this.
It's about to get nuts. It's about to get nuts. You missed the sardines.
I heard that
eating earlier.
Okay, time out. Axton and Johnny, do y'all like anchovies? Yes or no?
No, I never. I guess I couldn't really say.
What about white anchovies? Do you know what white anchovies are?
No.
They're way better anchovies. They're like gourmet. But anyway, Axton, great having you. Sorry, just had to ask your anchovy preference. Apparently, I'm the only one, which is hilarious. But
yeah, not much for anchovies there. I do like calamari. That's about as exotic as I'll get.
Oh, I love calamari.
That's a fish, but definitely not the same kind.
No, not even close. But you know, kind of out there, off the wall foods, that's what I thought of. So I appreciate you guys. This was a fun time.
For sure.
When we're in
On a
Kansas City.
pod or something like that.
We're all drinking.
Yeah, for sure.
Good
It's
night,
good
brother.
seeing you.
Great to see you,
You
Axon.
guys take care.
If you're ever in St. Louis, holler.
Bro just traded
Yeah,
a first
absolutely.
round.
You guys in
pick,
KC
James
too.
Pierce.
You guys ever find yourselves in KC? I work up there, so I can
I'm
be up
trying
there.
to draft for the fishbowl.
I'll be in KC for the Eagles Chiefs game. We should link up. I assume you'll be there as well.
Maybe I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. But
Well,
I
hopefully
don't
it's
know.
not a stupid game. Hopefully it's not like a Christmas Day game because that's going to be a hard sell on my wife.
If it's a Christmas Day game, woof.
Hey, Axton, great having you, man. Joe and Billy, we both we all got a drink.
Peace out, guys.
I drink.
Yep.
They traded a
All right.
first round pick
For James Pierce, what the hell is happening? I feel like
It's
I'm.
2023 James Pierce. It's worth it.
I love
I
James
swear-
Pierce, but to do a first round pick, like
Yeah, after the
Yeah.
Giants just moved 2/3.
I had a
Real
bet
question is-
in. I had a bet in for James Pierce to go number 1 overall from last April. Didn't happen, but at least he went in the first round. It didn't make me look that stupid.
for sure he was going in the first round. He slipped for sure, but to trade up a 2026 first is wild.
I think the Falcons front office is one of the weirdest, dumbest front offices that we have right now going.
Johnny, what do you think about this pick?
I was just thinking, like, how many first round picks or just lineman picks are they going to have? Last year was Braylon Trice. I mean, yeah, you look at their depth chart; the depth chart doesn't look good, but you're also getting Trice. So I guess they're trying to just beef up on that. It's definitely a need. I don't think they have really any effective defensive linemen. So one of them's got a hit, right? But it's just overkill to me.
Yeah. I agree.
I can't-
If Pierce is what he was supposed to be coming into this year, then I think they knocked it out of the park with that.
The thing is, the Rams probably couldn't say yes to that fast enough, getting another first round pick from them.
Dude,
Being
which
like,
team
hey,
that needs it. A team that
We're
needs it.
gonna get a top probably 15 pick, and you just want okay, sure, yeah, you just want 26.
You
Who
know how much
cares?
I hate the Rams for leaving us? Like, still a fan, still glad to see them be able to have some success of a team. Like, obviously followed them for several years, a decade of our lives, more, and seeing the greatest show on turf. But, dude, they like literally just saved themselves from not having first rounds for the last 4 years before this last year. Good for them for getting a free first round pick for a Falcons who has been mediocre and picking at 15 all the last several years. So, if the Rams do fall apart, they got a first and a 15th. I'd take that.
I can't believe the Eagles are gonna get Amanaware. I just can't believe it.
Yep, there's a lot of
I'm so
right here.
mad. Now that I don't mind the Eagles succeeding, but it's just like they just fall their way into like picks like this. It makes no sense.
Yeah, so Amanaware was one of those guys who like was, fringe first round at best to start, and then lumped up to like the 10th. This is why I hate the draft process and the combine. Everyone gets so hyped about a player, and they're like, everyone's going to be hyped about this player, and then no one drafts them, or someone drafts them way too high, and because they had a good combine, which is literally a session of 2 days where they just had a good day. Like, have you ever had a bad day? Like, have you ever tripped while walking up a stair? Like I mean, how many times have you?
Fair enough.
This is the real world solution of like, oh, I had a bad combine or whatever. But like, you know how easy it is to slip on a fucking cut, like, and just get a little bit worse of a grade. Like, Amanaware had a great round and a great few days of combine activity, and then everyone vaulted him up the boards, and he's slipping. And then there's other people that this happened to every year. So I never take too much stock in the combine. It's great to see some numbers, especially like speed. That's obviously great. Weight, strength. When you see some dude fucking bench 210 fucking 60 times, it's like, Jesus Christ. I tried to do that once and I threw out my back. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Never tried to do that.
I love that the first like 10 to 12-ish picks of this draft were kind of boring as hell. And then the last like 10 picks of this draft have been batshit.
Dude, I'm not
crazy.
gonna lie. I'm kind of sad Axton left, dude. He did bring in a weird energy to this draft, dude. Johnny,
Weird energy.
hold on. I gotta go back. I gotta find where he joined because I know exactly if I just look at the picks.
It was during the Bucks pick.
It
Yeah.
was. It was right during the Bucks pick because we had to tell him that it was Emeka Egbuka, and that was like, what the hell is happening? And then
To be fair, it did get a little off track. We got the
off
Cowboys
the wall.
grabbing Tyler Booker, and then Gray Zabel went earlier than most people suggested, which we were fine with. But other people would probably think that Gray Zabel was a off the wall pick. Shamar slipped a bit, but yeah, it was really the Bucks pick because Egbuka.
I think it was the Bears taking Loveland at 10 is what spiraled this.
Here we go.
What?
It's not. That was not the start of the craziness. Loveland makes sense. It's like
but it's crazy.
it was a little wild.
It was off. It was wacky. It was wacky. Like
It's like having a second drink on a school night, Joe. Like it is a little crazy, but not
wait,
like
you can only
that
have
crazy.
drinks on a
I
school
used to
night.
have fourth
I
and
mean,
fifth.
not me, but like people who would think that that's a little crazy or outside of the, like that's bizarre. Like it's not that crazy, Joe.
What if
I
it's the
think it was
NFL
okay.
draft? Like, can I have a couple extra drinks? Like,
No.
shit.
Well, Emeka Egbuka is taking like 10 tequila shots, so I mean, shit.
Egbuka was like happy hour went till 9 p.m.
Right. Happy hour bled into like
sorry.
actual regular prices. Yeah, that's exactly
Yeah,
right.
we actually paid full price and had dinner there.
I cannot believe the Falcons gave up a 2026 first round pick for James Pierce.
Dude,
This
I
has to be
for
well
sure
done.
thought it was Shador. It had to have been. Like, it just made too much sense. And at this point, if anyone trades up, it's Shador or nothing.
I don't know what to make of that. I really don't.
Johnny, who you got for the Ravens? Just for future reference, our mock had Siobhan Revel, cornerback, going there, and Will Johnson is still on the board. correct?
Back. I mean, maybe corner or like one that can turn into a safety. I think for them.
Josh, it's already been announced on your screen. There's no way that you're that far behind.
Nope, just got it.
Malachi Starks.
Yeah, you're far. Well, see, Joe's caught back up. That's good.
They got all the Georgia guys before the Eagles, man.
Yeah, that's tough for your Eagles.
Yeah, Manowari's still there. Mike Green's still there. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
The
So-
Lions are another guy who needs a team that needs an edge rusher, though. Mike Green makes a great slip to the Lions.
All right. Can we
What's
can
the
we
order?
pause?
Fantastic
Can
slip.
we
Can I
pause
not talk
for?
about it? Has the pick been announced already, Billy? Like, Jesus.
Oh, I was going to say,
20
can we
seconds
take a
behind.
pause? And can we? I just want to talk about the Falcons for one more second. So they have Jalen Walker, and we were like pretty excited about like, hey, they have this guy that like is going to get a lot of edge rushing stuff. But now they have James Pierce. Like, did that kind of does that, Joe? Would that make you feel like you don't need to go get Jalen Walker?
No, Jalen Walker is going to be absolutely fantastic for IDP. I absolutely love it. You got, I mean, is Matt Judon coming back?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, so Walker can slot in on edge when needed. Trice will be back. And then he'll play linebacker next to Caden. And you can just switch Caden and Jalen and rush the passer from whatever fucking side you want to. I think it's going to be great for IDP, personally.
What do you think, Johnny?
Like I said, man. I mean, I think that at Walker they got it right. Maybe they needed some extra help, but like they're just overkilling it now with what's this guy's name again?
James Pierce.
Pierce.
James Pierce, yeah.
I think it's just overkill. Like I said, one of them's got a hit. I don't think any of those they have like what a Beta K or something like that. That guy's just was like a one hit wonder. So I mean, I think that they'll get it right, and maybe they have more intuition than we're giving them. Maybe it's a really good nasty combination if they both hit right.
Yeah, I mean, Penix seemed to work
True.
out, so maybe we don't doubt him. But
Yeah.
We'll see what Trice is. I'm excited to see that. I believe he was a first round pick last year, correct?
I think he was
the
third.
round pick, wasn't
Third?
I think he was third. Yeah.
Because they went with that defensive tackle in the second, who no one had even heard of at that point.
Again, boom, two of the top three.
But he just got hurt, so it's like I still think Braylon Trice was really good. He was good for Washington. He wasn't necessarily a 3-down guy, like you couldn't he was like a guy that you would rotate in, but I thought he was solid. I didn't think he was like we needed to replace him already kind of thing, but whatever. I guess.
No, he was looking good for a starting gig going into like last year, preseason before I believe he tore his ACL, right?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, realistically, if Trice and Pierce as your edges, Walker can just roam and do whatever the hell he wants back there.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Caden Ellis is kind of that same player. I think that's a nasty setup right there.
Mm-hmm.
You never know where the pressure is going to come from.
Honestly, I like it for the Falcons defense overall, but it's just the 2026 first just made no sense to me.
It's crazy that they gave up a
Giants got
2026
quarterback
first.
for 2,000.
Like that just proves they think they're the shit.
I think the Falcons really needed a defensive back too. They should have got this Starks dude. I mean, they're starting Jesse Bates, who's solid, but then they have Jordan Fuller as their second safety right now, and then DeMarco Ellens, the guy who kind of showed out for a little bit part of his rookie season that has done nothing since. Really, no depth behind that. So, I get it. First round's not like your time to pick a safety. Hopefully, they get it right later here.
I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Josh, can we take a fireball bet on offense versus defense for the Eagles pick? I obviously don't know who it is because it hasn't even.
Do you have?
What you get to pick, whichever one you want. I'll take the other side.
I want to hear what your side is first, and then I'll pick.
Well, okay. I'll take offense.
Okay, I'll take defense
because I think defense is the easy pick. I'm gonna take offense because I like a little bit of a challenge.
Well, I can see him go either way. Either line could use the help, and there's still if Simmons is there at 32, that's a no-brainer.
Hunter put in the chat, when does Milrow go, boys? Well, maybe day 3 at this point.
Bama, honestly, maybe 4th round at this point. Oof.
It's going to be deep into tomorrow, I feel.
Think he goes to the Rams. That would make a ton of sense.
They've said the Lions pick is in for 3 minutes, by the way.
Here's the thing, by the way. Good thing next year, by the way, we already have 2 teams that have double first-round picks. I didn't like this. I didn't like this whole, let's just start with everyone having their own pick. No, we need chaos. I like a little bit of extra shit.
Yeah, we need someone who needs to, potentially be able to trade back into the first round.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Shedeur is basically off the board unless we see another trade up. So unless we see a trade up, we're sitting here, Lions. If this isn't Mike Green and or Easy or whoever edge rusher, I'm going to be mad physically for my dad and for any Lions fan out there. You need someone, as you learned last year as a Lions fan, I hope, or Lions, if you watch the Lions, it's got to be an edge.
Well, it's already on the screen, so that sucks.
I'm here now. Okay. I talked a little early. I'll allow it.
It's really not a bad pick. Tyleik Williams is pretty solid. Again, another non-really good fantasy guy. I think what we're finding interesting right now is there's a lot of D tackles that are getting a lot of buzz here. This is very interesting. It's not really good for fantasy necessarily, but I mean for actual football wise, yeah, pretty good.
I mean, Washington has to take Josh Simmons here, right?
Dude, if they don't, they're so dumb.
There's a potential trade down situation, but no, I don't know.
I don't know anything about Tyleik Williams. I'm going to be completely honest with you, but I just feel like edge rusher made the most sense. Y'all watched what happened when Hutch went down last year. You had no one rushing the quarterback. This isn't a rushing the quarterback guy. This is a stopgap guy. I don't know. This isn't the next Jalen Carter, but I hope that it is. Hate that for the Lions. I really was hoping edge rusher. I was into a rant by the time they made the pick. They made the pick when I was ranting about how you should go grab an edge rusher.
You should write a letter.
All right, Travion Henderson going to these next 4 picks. I should say next 3 picks.
It's got to be Simmons because Cosby
not looking that way.
Tore his ACL in the playoffs, right? Not Ratledge. I would love to see Henderson. That would be killer. That would be
And these
my
Ohio State
favorite
boys
pick
have
this
been taken care of late in this draft.
That would be my favorite thing in this whole draft.
Gotta get one more trade in here or something. I don't know. Just something to make the very end of this interesting.
We got to
Luther
Will Johnson
Burden
has
falling
to make
out
it.
of the first round just sucks. It just
That's
sucks.
another weird thing that happened, dude. Like Membu went up and Luther Burden went down after the combine.
Yeah.
But Will Johnson better
It really
get drafted because I want Michigan to beat Ohio State or at least tie them in the first round draft.
Buffalo has to take them. There is no other option.
Will Johnson's got to
right
be
when he
pissed.
said that.
Actually, all these cornerbacks got to be pissed. Has anyone been drafted yet?
Dude, Tennessee could take Bird
No.
and pair him with Ward. That'd be pretty gnarly.
Yeah. And finally get rid of what's his name? That little small receiver who's been there for so many years. Not Kendall, right? What's his name?
I feel like they have a million of those guys. There's
Yeah.
always that Tennessee receiver that's like, oh shit, he's still on the team.
Right.
At this point, the Eagles are going to end up getting Siobhan Revel in like the third round. Like, this is just
I'm really
Howie
excited
Roseman
for
bait.
tomorrow.
I bet Howie Roseman like has to calm himself down and just say, just chill. We don't need to do anything. These people are dumb. They're not going to pick the right people.
There's going to be fireworks tomorrow.
Oh yeah, there's going to be lots of trades, and I love that during a Friday midday.
I can't wait. Tomorrow's I'm gonna be locked in because that's gonna be the fantasy football portion of this draft. It feels like.
Any good receivers left? Like very good.
Luther
I
Burden.
mean,
Noel Higgins,
Luther Burden's all right.
Bird.
He definitely deserves to be going somewhere around here.
Maybe they stack him right here. Maybe is he? What roles he play? Outside, right?
He's a slot
He's a slot
for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, after that, a lot of these guys feel like they're day two. I know Joe loves Trey Harris to death, but
I do.
he felt like day two
like Jack
from the
Mesh.
jump. What's crazy is I don't know what lessons we need to learn about the draft this year because like this just went in a weird direction.
I mean, people are just investing in the trenches. Is what it comes down to.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
literally,
what the
that's
Chiefs,
what
and that's
it
what
is.
The Eagles, and that's what the Lions. That's what they've done. It's the recipe.
It's not sexy when you look at it on fantasy perspective or just even in a fan perspective. Like if I'm a fan of someone who drafts a defensive tackle or offensive tackle in the draft, I'm not happy. Like naturally, I'm like, well, that was boring. Like I wanted something big. We could have used the third wide receiver or something. Like that's usually what it comes down to. It's like that would have been really nice to have this random person that I thought we were going to pick, but you picked a defensive tackle that I never heard of. Like. But at the same time, is it going to be helpful for your team? Most likely. Especially a big dude. Like, I'm sorry, 300-pound dudes don't grow on trees, you know? Especially one that can block or hit a quarterback.
Yeah, it's
I kind of like the golden pick. I kind of like it.
Coming back
Mike
around
Green's
on it,
already
huh?
pissed. They showed Mike Green in the studio. His family's mad, dude. He's like 29th pick? For real?
Oh, brother.
Yeah, they came all the way to Wisconsin for
Is it not Mike Green?
No.
Oh. I mean, honestly, probably should have been.
You guys don't see
Dude,
that.
poor Simmons.
I mean, it's just what we're doing this year. We're bolstering our O line and D line. I mean,
I'm so excited to see what the Eagles do. Like, I've never been more
Well,
excited.
I feel like your Eagles caused this shit because now like nobody wants their team to suck on either of the lines that are going to let a running back through. But it's like, what are we doing?
Washington should have went Travion. I'm sorry. Henderson should be on that team right now.
I agree with that. Tomorrow, like I said, gonna be a lot of fireworks.
KC could go Henderson.
Oh yeah, no. KC could go Henderson, and I hate that for everyone.
Yeah, me too.
It's been a quick draft. It's only 10:20.
This has to
We
be
got
Will
3 picks
Johnson.
left. Yeah, I can see the Eagles on the board.
Usually like 4 hours, but it is not 4 hours tonight.
Who the Bills going to get here?
Got to be Will Johnson.
I would think that would go cornerback, but at the same time, we have literally entered the twilight zone ever since pick 20.
Jihad Campbell's still on the board. I know that like they have Bernard and everything, but I could see him going and getting a stud linebacker.
They just need to go Mike Green. I don't feel like we need to overthink this.
That's fair. I just like Jihad Campbell. He needs to be off the board.
He could go to Philly.
He could, but with Dean and Bond, I just don't see them investing heavily in linebacker. We never
Dean
do.
hasn't been the epitome of health either. So.
No, he has not. He has not. I wouldn't mind it. I would definitely not be mad about it.
Linebacker.
Draft an injured linebacker with an injured linebacker.
Yeah.
Now, Mike Green makes the most sense. Easy, Emanawari. The Eagles don't have to worry about it. There's a reason they didn't trade up. I think they see what's going on and they're like, we're good. We'll find ours.
I agree with that.
They could take Travion. Be completely unnecessary, but
the Eagles taking Travion. That'd be funny.
Honestly,
dynasty rookie drafts.
Would not hate it. Let's just fuck everything up in the dynasty rookie drafts.
Man, this is so weird for Shedeur, man. I really don't know what to make of this.
I'd like to see him go to the West Coast somewhere warm. I think he'll do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess the issue is like, you know, when we brought this up, is the issue that they don't want the like craziness around, you know, Deion. They don't want the guy that
Deion Sanders did say he's not going to allow Shedeur to be drafted by a certain team. So we should have known that this kind of publicity / weird, like I'm not touching this with the 10-foot pole.
Well, we talked about it for a long time, but we never actually thought it would happen.
Yeah, that's true. I think Shedeur is something special, and at the very least, like, and maybe this will humble him. Maybe this will make him be that let me learn type quarterback.
I just like how bad because his interviews have been with teams to where this is happening. Like it could not have possibly been this.
His dad's been shielding him his entire career at this point, and he literally coached him in college so he could have a chance to make it to the NFL. Which I'm not saying he's not NFL talent worthy, but Deion Sanders is his father, and he's a bit cocky at the very least. You know, lack of better words. So Shedeur is going to have some chip on his shoulder being his son.
Brian Daboll announced at the press conference that Russ will be the starter.
We're doing this again. Everyone's going to name Russ the starter by the end of his career. God, I hope it's not the Eagles' turn.
Is that going to be on his tombstone?
We labeled Russell Wilson the starter. Oh, shit.
Bill's pick is in.
It's about time. I don't know if you know, Johnny, but who would you think it is if you don't already know the pick?
I don't know.
It's not on Twitter. Trust me, it's not.
Billy's looking now.
No, I'm just following along on the Twitter, and it's not on there yet.
Defensive tackle.
I think they should go Mike Green. Like, why is Mike Green still on the board?
Is Mike Green available? I don't know what he did. Did he test weird?
I don't know who it actually is going to be. It's kind of weird, but it's It's got to be Mike Green, right?
Why is Will Johnson still on the board? Why is Josh Simmons on the board? All three of those
Good
guys
point.
should be off the board in the next 3 picks. If they're not,
Lots
I'm
of
gonna be
of
confused.
solid points being made here. I mean, the Chiefs are going to draft Josh Simmons, guaranteed. All right, Bills are announcing their pick now.
I really want an off the rip.
Well, I mean, almost,
rookie draft.
almost.
I really want a off the rip rookie draft ranking right now. Genty,
Fuck yeah, Tommy.
it's got to be Hunter, right? Like it has to be.
So the Eagles traded with the Chiefs, Josh. They hopped up one spot. Okay, that's a solid pick.
Good pick.
Yeah, I think we had that in a mock. Josh, I honestly think you could find that. One of our mock drafts had that.
Somebody hates Will Johnson. Got it.
Yeah, apparently there's a knee injury that's a big issue. That's what some people are saying.
Interesting. No, not solid pick by Bills. I mean, this is literally
Eagles are on the clock, Josh. This is our time.
Wait, we traded with the Eagles or the Chiefs?
You traded pick 164 to move up one spot.
It's got to be. Who is it?
Who would you need to get above the Eagles to get, or above the Chiefs to get? That's what's weird.
It's got to be Mike Green at that point, or Manawari. I mean, they could go after safety.
All right. Well, I picked offense. So...
How did the Eagles say, "Hey, we know we beat you last year, but like, can we have your pick? We'll give you whatever, blah blah blah. Insert random 5th round pick that we give." 164. Is that our 3rd round pick? No,
I think so.
4th round.
Well, let me see. Let me do math.
4th round.
32. Yeah, it's a 4th round pick. Yeah.
We traded a 4th round pick to move up one pick. Interesting.
He's been working the phones, Josh.
He worked the phones to go up one pick. Like, this wasn't it. I'm sorry. I don't even care who the pick is because there's so many options that could help us.
Oh, that's
to move
funny.
up one slot just seems like the best of Howie. Like, Howie's like, I haven't been in the news cycle for a while saying I'm awesome. I need to do something cool. And he's like, oh,
That's
fuck. That
funny,
wasn't it.
man.
I think it's going to be either a offensive tackle or a safety here from Philly.
Oh, it was a 5th round pick, Josh. They had 4 picks in the 5th round.
Okay,
they
we
flipped
do
one
have
to the Chiefs.
we do have 4 5th round picks. I was making sure that it wasn't the 4th round.
No, it was a 5th round pick. They did.
Okay.
They did only have to flip one of their 4 4th rounders.
4 5th rounders. Yeah. That's cool. I mean,
And if it makes you feel any better, you still have 161 and 165. So you did give up just one in the middle.
Yeah, but at the same time, dude, this bro has inner excellence right now while the Eagles are.
I love that for you, Joe.
Joe bought it. Dude,
great choice of book.
AJ Brown sold Joe into buying inner excellence. He couldn't not have it after that.
Best marketing that could have possibly been had.
Dude, that author has to be having just such a great time right now. Like, just like, thank you, AJ. That was so nice of you to read my book on the sideline. But why
Joe,
did he trade this pick? I just can't.
Joe, I'm not going to lie. You're the winner of this whole draft. You won.
Damn.
You brought props. You ate sardines and then chased it with a shot of Fireball.
100%.
You won. You
put on a
won.
show.
We've all lost. You came prepared to make this a spectacle, and I feel that I should have done something more. And now next year I'm going to have to step my game up.
You do. You have a hat, which is rare.
I did get the Seattle
It's like a
Seahawks.
hat. Oh, it is a Seahawks hat.
It is a Seahawks
hat.
Because that green was definitely Seahawks green.
It is a Seahawks hat. No, I've randomly had this for like 7-8 years. I don't even really know why.
I was gonna say
have
that
it.
green is so specifically Seahawks. Like
It is.
Those helmets signed, Joe.
Yeah.
All right, Billy, I have
Okay.
defense. You have offense on this pick, right?
Yep.
DK.
Have you been
Metcalf.
spoiled yet?
Yep.
You're lame.
What?
No one's Roquan.
You already were spoiled. You know what the pick is?
Yeah, I do.
Muting you.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
By
out
muting
loud.
you, I mean muting everyone.
I think it's gonna be Jason
No
Kelsey.
one's spoiling this for me.
That's fine. It's a pretty good pick for them, to be honest. I mean, it's just the rich getting richer. That's the problem with the fucking Eagles at this point. Like, literally, whatever pick they make, it's just making them better. It didn't matter who they picked, honestly. Any pick they made, it would have been fine. Like, they it's just the rich getting richer. That's what the Eagles are. Damn, he took himself completely out of the thing. We're not even talking about the pick. I don't even think you guys have looked at it.
No, I don't know.
Can
Oh,
you
it
believe
does
they
say-
drafted a wide receiver?
I do
That's
see
crazy.
pickers in. But I
They
don't see-
did not take a wide receiver. I'm gonna Joe. Can we just go over the tomorrow? Joe and Johnny, both of y'all are here. Let's just go over tomorrow real quick because, like, to be fair, for dynasty fantasy drafts, for like I guess some IDP drafts, maybe there was some interesting things done here. But for the most part, I think tomorrow is kind of the day where like we actually get some of the best players on the taken. We got Travion Henderson, we got Quinshon Judkins, Caleb Johnson, Kim Scatteraboo, whatever, blah blah blah. How many running backs, Joe, do you think are going to go tomorrow?
God, at this rate, 4. What? 2 rounds. 6.
4? I was about to say in 2 rounds. You think 4 are going to go? Johnny, what do you think?
I was gonna say at least 6. Yeah, I'm with Joe.
Man, like, I feel like there's going to be more than that. I don't know why.
I like that. I think it could be more than 6. I'm interested to see where that Scatabo goes.
Just kind of looking at the guys that are available. I mean, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, I think, are safely, definitely going in the second round. But then, like, after that, Cam, Dylan Sampson, and, like, I think even, like, Giddens, Neal, Tootin,
Harvey could definitely.
Harvey, all those guys have an argument to get in the third round of the draft. I really think that's possible.
I think Ollie Gordon's going to go higher than people think, too.
I can agree with that. Man, he's way down there. That's kind of surprising. Your guy, LeQuint Allen. I don't think he's going to go tomorrow, but he's interesting.
He is so interesting.
And then wide receivers, I have completely no clue what to make of any of the wide receivers in this draft. Like, especially
right,
what's
boring.
left.
I
know
still
it's
haven't gotten the
commercial
pick.
break.
You already knew the pick?
No, we're talking about wide receivers now.
Oh,
so,
I muted you so long ago because I thought the pick was coming in. But
no, we're fine. No, it wasn't on the screen. It was on something else. No, we talked about running backs. Both of them think 6 are going tomorrow. How many do you think over under?
Oh, under that, I'd say 4. Tops.
I think in 2 rounds, you think only 4 are going to go tomorrow? Because
in
it's
2
second
rounds?
and third round.
Yeah, that's true. That is second, third round. Sorry, I thought you meant second round. No, I'd definitely say 5 though. Under 5 or 5 or under. That's
Okay.
max. I'd say 4 is about accurate, honestly. The way they
I just feel like I feel like it's going to be more than 6. Like, I definitely could see that. I could see the floodgates opening tomorrow. Like, normally how it is for wide receivers, I think that's how it's going to be for running backs.
So like the people like Cam Scatabo and who's the shifty guy from, was it A&M? The running back Joe
Not
mentioned
A&M.
earlier.
There's Dylan Sampson, Devin Neal, Harvey from UCF.
Harvey.
UCF, yeah.
Okay, that's my bad. Oh,
All right, the pick is on my screen now, so you should be pretty close.
Hold on. Oh, dude. It's what they should have done. I'm happy about it.
Told you, rich getting richer.
I think, there it is. All right. You know what? Billy, I'm with you, buddy. We're already here.
Nice. Did they need to trade up for it? I don't think so because I don't think the Chiefs were going to pick him. But whatever.
I think that shows. So no, they did not need to trade up for it.
You think it's just like a big dick trade?
I think it was just a. You know what? I'm Howie Roseman. We have 4 5th-round picks. Let me just throws the dick on the table. Like, let me get Jihad over you to make it just a little bit better. Could they have got him in the next pick? 100%. They're probably going to go Josh Simmons.
This is another fantasy football nightmare. Draft selection, though, because
there is three.
It slightly is. It slightly is.
The problem is there is 3 linebacker spots in Philly, but they play nickel like 70% of the time. So is this cutting out Dean? Is this cutting out? Definitely not cutting out Bond. They just paid him.
Feels like it's cutting out Dean.
And then you got Trotter on the team, Jeremiah Trotter Jr., who's like we're hopeful for. You know what I mean?
Trotter's dead. Trotter's dead.
Yeah.
This is the end of Trotter.
Yeah, Campbell's playing. Like he's going to be on the field. We traded an extra pick for him. Man, hey, I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. I did not expect this to happen. I just we had to mock.
Well, we had no clue Jihad was going to make it this far.
We had our original, or no, sorry, not our original. I closed that one accidentally. Our second mock draft had Jihad at 12 to the Cowboys, 19th to the Bucks, and then Bucks again. So like we did not have him making him to 31. I mean, there was so many steals they could have picked. They could have taken Mike Green. I don't think there's anything. I think Howie just was like, we have so many options. Pick which one we want the most. And Jihad makes the most sense. I mean.
So should Nakobe Dean managers sell right now? Like just to try to recoup?
I don't think
this has to be his spot. It's not Bond's spot.
No, I think Dean's fine. And I think he'll be fine in a couple years when he either, because the Eagles aren't going to get rid of Dean. They have him on a rookie contract. He's stuck. So it's like you could trade him and sell the potential because I do think there will be something. I mean, Dean isn't just nothing. Like he's had some rough injuries, but like they haven't been anything serious. Shoulder here and there. So,
I mean, Bond was awesome, but they really lucked out on Bond for what they got.
They did
last year. It was a very
100%. Even even what they paid him this year is in the next couple of years is still low for what he did. I mean,
I think that's smart because you got to build that room out because they had no one going into last year.
They're betting for the future right now because I mean Trotter ain't going nowhere for the next 2 years. We now have 4 linebackers in a room, and we've never had 4 linebackers in a room. I don't think in the entirety of the Philadelphia Eagles. We had 1.5 and a janitor. And some guy who was John, and they picked him up off the street because he looked big. Weird flex on the Chiefs, though, if I gotta be honest. Like, I feel like
No, because what's crazy is they're going to probably end up with whoever they were going to pick anyway, which I think we all think is Josh Simmons at this point. But, like, it's kind of odd. It's kind of an odd way of doing that. I feel like Howie just wanted to make a thing about it.
I know we've said Mike Green's name a bunch of times. I still think it could be him or Scourton. Like just depending on what people want.
You think they need an edge rusher? I feel like they were going to take O-line this whole time.
I think they can go.
That
edge.
Would be funny.
I think they could go. They can go tackle. They can go edge though.
What if they get running back? Scatterbo.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
To just ruin everything.
That would be insane. I would love that.
They've done it before. Where they've drafted a first-round running back and it's failed. Edwards-Helaire.
Who's the best?
They should have looked at that team, by the way. They should have looked at that team, by the way, that LSU team, and realized that the running back was not the reason that thing was cooking. It was Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, and Jamar Chase. Had nothing to do with the goddamn running back.
Who was the LSU running back?
That was him. It was Kyler Edwards-Helaire
Oh, was it Edwards-Helaire
on that team.
Oh,
yeah, and that's what got him drafted in the first round. And it's like, maybe we should have thought, maybe it's just...
Fair, nobody knew what Joe Burrow was going to be. I mean, he was good
That's true.
in college, but... I mean, why not?
Not a sexy pick there, huh?
Not
that was a sexy
exactly.
pick at
It's kind.
32.
It's kind of exactly. I don't know. I think that's what. I think that was the plan the whole time. I feel like Tyler Roseman called him, and they were like, yeah, we'll take a fifth or fifth rounder for nothing. Sure, we're gonna take Simmons the whole time anyway."
This was a rare Howie L. But I can't say L because it wasn't a bad trade, but it was.
Well, they still have to pay these players. So in his defense, maybe it's one of those hey, we don't have to pay an extra person. We just get to move up one spot and not have an extra body on our team.
That is true. I mean,
because they do have to cut them if they don't use them,
But yeah, honestly though, how do we feel about offensive lines from Ohio State going? Because I mean, they also have really great running backs running behind them. Or are the running backs better than the offensive line?
I mean, the running backs definitely got them paid because neither running back went in the first round, and there was 3 that went in the first. Because it was Simmons, that Connerly guy, and Donovan something. There was 3 Ohio State. Yeah, Donovan Jackson all went in the first round. Can't say that wasn't built on the fact that the running game was really good, but it's were those running backs really good, or was it really the O-line that was actually making them good?
Right?
It's kind of tough to say. I think it was the running backs because Quinshon Judkins had 1,500 fucking yards at Ole Miss behind a different complete O-line, and he only didn't have that this year because he was sharing a backfield with another guy. I don't know.
Yeah. Interesting. But we made it through the draft. First round. Down.
We did. First round in the books.
Bummer of a first round, bro.
This is every year in the first round, dude. It's weird and ugly, and some of the picks make absolutely no sense.
A lot of linemen.
A lot of linemen.
A lot of them.
And the Eagles went out for the skill positions that slipped. So, I mean, what does that say? All people try to mock the Eagles, and sometimes it plays into the opposite side. Honestly, the Eagles could have won any position at that point. Man, I'm excited about it. Anyway.
All right. Well, that's all we got tonight, gentlemen. Johnny, thanks for joining us for the back end of this draft. We appreciate it.
Pleasure. Good working with you.
Joe, get us out of here.
Good night.